Hello, everybody. Okay, cool. We got it to work. Um, as you can see, things are a little different right now. Um, Dempsey has granted me access to his StreamYard. What is it called? The StreamYard account. So we've got all these fancy things going on right now. How's everybody doing today? Dempsey and Nerd have been kind enough to join me today. And they're going to help run this because I can't remember the last stream I did where I wasn't doing something else like harder gaming. So how is everyone today? I guess that kind of defeats the purpose of a Q&A if I'm the one asking the questions, but yeah. How's everyone been today? Thank you, Caden King. 2000 is crazy. Didn't expect that. I think like a week ago, we were at, what is it called? Like 1970. And so like in a week, we've gone up to 30 subs, which is absolutely crazy. Also, I realized I don't have my green screen today, which is going to be really weird.
Well, you've got it. It's just not turned on.
Yeah, I don't know if you can key that out in this thing. I'm in foreign territory right now. But before the stream even started, we had a whole slew of questions coming in. A lot from Nikolai, who said they might not be able to be here, but if you are watching this back, hi, how are you? And hope we can answer your questions. So, question number 1 we have is, will you do a Gravity Falls related video in the future? I mean, the future is always unpredictable. I don't know how long I'll be doing this channel. So if I manage to go several years without doing any kind of Gravity Falls or Disney related content, I'd consider that impressive. So yeah, you could probably expect some kind of Gravity Falls animation Disney type video coming out soon, because I just recently watched Gravity Falls this year alongside Owl House, and I really kind of want to work with those two, even if it's like redesigning or something. So yeah, I don't have an exact date, but I would say it's very likely that at some point there will be a Gravity Falls video. Next up, we got more. What would you call it? Character related questions, I guess, would be this next one coming up.
It's supposed to have character related or related.
Yeah. This one's relating to some of the narrators on the channel. Who in your roster of characters would get along with Benny Sharp? Immediate. So these all happened before the stream, many hours before the stream. First one I thought of was fifth. Oh my God, I always forget which one's which. 51 would get along with Benny Sharp from Pop Across the Studios universe. And I tentatively want to say it would also be Professor Marcus Plague. He is a little bit more laid back, stuff like that. But not to the chaotic extent of Benny Sharp, I would say. Of course, there's that whole air quotes running gag that they're cousins, because my Professor Marcus Plague voice went a little too Benny Sharp without me even realizing it. But I think I'm slowly perfecting it. There's a video coming out soon with Marcus Plague, spoilers, that I think the voice changes a little bit into a place I'm a little more comfortable with. So a little bit of a distinction between the two. But for definite, 51 and about like 50 to 70% of Professor Marcus Plague.
So, flipping that on its head, who in your roster of characters would not get along with Benny Sharp?
50 definitely. Ivan a Clue. Ivan the Clue is a very serious character. The unnamed narrator from the Monster Prom as folklore. Begrudgingly tolerate Benny Sharp, because in that episode there was the thing with Aravi, which is unfortunately not an original character. I really wish it was. But Aravi's a monster hunter who's very loud and boisterous, and as a more serious monster hunter, he's just like, well, she's just kind of there. She's good at what she does. She's just loud. So it'd be something between that and outright hating. What was the character's name? Benny Sharp.
He's that memorable, you forgot him.
Yeah. I'll admit I'm a little bit behind on Pop Cross, so I guess some of the information is starting to slip. Now we have some more questions from Nikolai, but do we want to bounce around so everybody gets a chance to shine?
We can do. I've started all the questions for you, so it's an easier place for you to find them all.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Seen.
And then we can unstar them once they're...
Yeah, once you do that, you can just tick the star on that panel, and it'll just take them off, or just move to the next question, and I can unstar them afterwards.
This stream thing is amazing.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
I have so much power. Okay, let's see. I think...
Itty bitty screen space.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have a question from Ark, who says, I have a question. I'm getting better at my art, and how do you guys make videos? Oh, okay. So if you two want to jump in, because I'm sure our process is vary in some extent. But for mine, I usually average it out to a drawing a day, just because other responsibilities and whatnot, but that's not the important part. But I usually start off my day or start off the week doing the drawings. I'll come up with an idea the week before, write it down, leave it somewhere. And depending on if it's a story-heavy episode or just more of a one-off, I might jot down the story first, then do the art. But most of the time, I start with the art first. I choose the characters I want. I decide which of the what three art characters I'm going to be doing. Line them all up in a folder specifically related to that video, and then just go down the list. Start one, finish it, hopefully that day. Start two, start three. Spend usually a day writing, unfortunately. That is the one place I want to get better at, because my goodness, it takes me so long to write because I get distracted so easily. And then I usually spend a day or so. Usually writing and scripting, depending on the time, is a day. And then I spend a whole day, unfortunately, editing the videos. And when I say editing, I mean mostly waiting for Premiere to render out everything so I can watch it without, what is it called? Buffering.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that...
to DaVinci. Switch to DaVinci.
I have to. My only problem is I've been using these Adobe programs for so long. I'm scared entering that new domain.
Right. Just a side note, Jazz's latest video at the end, he suggested if you use Premiere, make a note of all your shortcuts, rebind the keys in DaVinci over a day or so, and then you've got your workflow working in DaVinci.
Okay. What about like presets? Because I have like audio presets and video presets.
It should have all the equivalents within in the free version of Studio. It might be worth just taking a day out your schedule and just download it and keep Premiere while you've got it for the current video, but maybe just start a future project or after you've done it, a copy project, if that makes sense. See if you can copy the settings compared to. But yeah, it probably would take. You can set up proxies and stuff to make it less rendering time and less intensive on the images when you're doing stuff. Which is quite cool.
I remember years ago, I was like I was when I first did YouTube years and years ago, I was using iMovie. I would record games and then voice over them afterwards in iMovie. And then one day I'm like, this is stupid. Let me try out Premiere. And then I've been using it since. So I just have to do that again with a different program.
Yeah,
You say that. Like, you say that, I'm still using iMovie. I haven't gotten past that yet.
I mean, for this it's much. iMovie is a much better way to work, or it's a much more tailored program to what we do, because a lot of the main meat and potatoes of our videos is the art we've done outside of the program. When it was gaming, there was a lot that restricted me, so I couldn't like put in funny edits and stuff like that. Yeah. But like for this stuff, like I would go back to iMovie if I could, but I'm all PC. But the two of you, do you want to jump in about how you tackle your videos?
Yeah, I can first. Mine's pretty much a similar process as what we've all got, really, because we all do stories. So it's scripting the story out. Sometimes I'll do the artwork beforehand after I've got the concepts kind of like mapped out with a brief. This is what the kind of like overarching, I'm turning this into this, or I'm taking this and this is the original story and this is where I want to go with it. And then again, I like you, between stuff, trying to get artwork done within like 4 hours an evening or something to be done in between doing other responsibilities. And then but once I recorded the lore and sort of like any intros or outros to script it, it then becomes the whole case of the rendering process and the editing, which takes anywhere between 4 to 6 hours to render a video, even in its simplest form. And that's just taking out anything that's like the start or ending of the recording, any bits to tailor it down so it's as long as it needs to be and stuff. Anything in the artwork. Lately with Clip Studio, I just record the whole screen because the pop-ups aren't quite as intrusive when they're sped up, so it's not too bad, because it's just panels on the side changing rather than actual pop-ups in your face like with the Procreate. But I find the largest bit of the process is the scripting and the editing between the two, depending on what the subject matter is.
Same here.
But again, it's a similar process. Come up with an idea, script it, do the drawings when I can in between. I use DaVinci Resolve for the editing, so I can preset a template and just copy it every time. Just copy the last video profile with all what I need, and then just render that out, and then upload it, schedule it afterwards, and pray it doesn't break when it uploads. It's the only thing, depending what effect you do.
Yeah, that's always the big part.
Yeah, and my process is fairly similar. I tend to think of an idea, then I kind of plan out the entire story in my head before writing it down. Then I tend to draw and write pretty much simultaneously. It kind of depends on the episode which one I do first. And then I basically just hope I don't run out of storage.
Yep, storage is a big one.
Oh yes.
My drive is constantly like this close to being full.
I'm so glad for the faster internet, because I'm backing up to my Google Drive now when I do stuff, or when I drop a video on there. So if I have to delete it, I've got all the recordings for something that's in progress in a folder on the Google Drive, because I pay for the 2 terabytes a month. 2 terabytes. The payment for it. So that means I've got more than enough space now that I can back it up and then clear it out locally. But again, as soon as I put DaVinci Resolve on and I've got like 3 to 4 artworks in a video, well, that's about 80 gigs there just for the raw footage and screen recording.
A video out. Everything of video wise, each video is well over 100 gigs of space every week without fail.
Yeah. As soon as you put your recordings on it and stuff, and it's like, damn. And then it's like, okay, after I've completed a video, all I keep is the images for the final version, I think, to post on social media, and everything else gets backed up and deleted off the machine.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a whole little folder of all finished projects, and I didn't do that. So I started doing the digital painting stuff about halfway through last year, and for a good part of that year, good part of 2023, it was mostly 2 videos per drawing. Now that it's 3 to 4 videos per drawing, and it's been consistent for 9 months now, the folder is hundreds of artworks long. I'm like, well, I need to find a specific one now.
Yeah, I don't have quite so many at the moment because I've got an external hard drive with a couple of months on there.
Yeah.
But then I only had a 1 terabyte hard drive. And because it took forever to upload beforehand, it'd take like a day to do it. It's just not feasible. So I'd back everything up to the hard drive, and then every time I got so far into it, I'd have to delete it. And it's like a 1 terabyte hard drive, and half of it's free, 500 gigs, and in about 2, maybe 2.5 months, that's it. Done completely, just gone. So that's the only big concern is storage. It's the biggest concern out of everything when you're doing these videos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Luckily,
Typically, I don't even get to like keep all the recordings while I'm working on the drawing. As soon as I get the recording done, have to delete pretty much everything immediately. Like speed it up, delete pretty much immediately.
Yeah. Luckily, all of boss level is on its own drive, or else I would have no space for nothing. But yeah, I hope that answered your question, Ark. Moving on, we have one from Fazbear Entertainment who asks, "Hello, your dearest majesty."
You've been promoted.
I have a question that I'm quite inclined to ask. Since only I and Ark have posted redraw submission, what will be the third and final drawing? Well, Fazbear, don't forget, there's also the email submissions for the recreation video. So while, oddly enough, only 2 people have submitted to the recreations on the Discord, there's still people who submitted through email that will also get a chance to be in the recreations. I've gathered them as the deadline was last night. I have not gotten a chance to read through all of them yet. But I'm very interested. I've taken quick glances at the art. I haven't gotten a chance to read the stories. You all came up with some really interesting designs, and I'm really glad I did, what is it called? Food as demons, because you took that idea and ran with it. I remember when I first put it out, at the end of the last one, I believe it was Fazbear Entertainment. Nerd, I know you jumped in, debating about what qualified as food.
Oh no, I remember this conversation, and I don't want to.
Yeah. But it is safe. I'm happy to say all of you, everyone who submitted, stuck with traditional edible food. Thank you so much for that. That could have gotten real weird.
It could have. I'm almost disappointed in you all.
Yeah, could you put up some old-fashioned like herbal medicine remedies for food and stuff? Just really get Kingpin struggling a little bit.
Yeah,
they're gonna do that next time. You can be like, yeah, this was a great topic. I'm gonna do this next time. They're gonna like, who said that on the chat last time on that stream saying to do weird foods? No.
Yeah. We're gonna bounce around here because I want to make sure everyone gets at least a chance to shine. Our next one comes from Benjamin Neal, who asks, question, are you going to make a dinosaur narrator, mech steampunk narrator, a backrooms narrator, okay, that one's interesting, a ghost narrator, a bioweapon narrator, and an alien narrator? I don't know. I have one in the works. Never thought about it before. That would be interesting. Not quite sure what that one would entail, and I haven't a clue. Kind of fits into that last one. But to
that was a quick answer.
Yeah. But no, to give the question the thought it deserves, dinosaur narrator falls under the same category as dragons and fantasy beasts. I'm terrified to try drawing them. But if I can come up with an idea, I never want to just throw out a narrator without really having an idea for a character or even a story arc at that point. Ivan the Demon, Ivan the Dark Ones, tentatively Professor Marcus Plague. unnamed fantasy narrator and unnamed folklore narrator all have a shtick to them, and a possible route that I want their first story arc to take. I do have an idea for what a mech or steampunk narrator could entail, which may or may not have. Wait, I can't say that. That'll be easily picked out. I was gonna say I may have hinted at what a mech narrator could be, and then I realized there's a single drawing on the channel of a mech suit. So I wonder which one it could be. But no, I do have an idea of where I want a mech narrator to go. What was that?
They stole it from Benny Sharp or Nexum. One of the other narrators. They've stolen the one mech armor on the channel from it, and that's what you can do until you flesh one of them out.
I think I know what that one mech armor drawing is, but I don't exactly know if I can say it. Cat's got my tongue.
Exactly. The ghost narrator, though, that one I really like. And I think if I did a ghost narrator, I have a really good voice that I could do for it. And it's a voice that I've wanted to include on the channel for a little bit. But yeah.
So we could potentially be getting a new narrator from you soon.
See, I would say yes, but like I feel like I haven't fleshed out the current narrators enough, and I don't want to bog people down with more and more new characters without them learning and connecting with the old ones. And admittedly, I'm very bad at I've been very bad in the past doing videos relating around those characters. There's been a lot of one shots that are fun to do, but if I want to flesh out these narrators, I have to utilize them in some way, shape, or form. But yeah. Next up, do one of you want to randomly pick one? Actually, I do see one from Fantasy Creed that I'm really quickly going to answer because it is very relatable, and I think we can all relate to it.
Yeah.
Fantasy Creed says, have you ever forgotten to hit the record button before beginning a drawing? If so, what would you use to supplement the last speed paint in a video? That has happened. Luckily, well, kind of. A lot of my drawings are done in segments, where like I have to step away from the computer for a large amount of time, so I stop the recording. Meaning that there have been times I forgot to hit the record button, but luckily I've only forgotten to record a certain part of it. What I've done in the past, there is that when I made the Capture a Corpser video, I forgot to do the shading on the monster for the second drawing, and I'm just like, okay, nope, never happened. It's magically complete. But Dempsey, when we were doing the collab with Allen Animations, I was doing Allen Animations prompt, and I was shading the beaver with all the fur and stuff, and I forgot to hit record for the entire rendering process. So what I did, take this with a grain of salt. It's not the best cover-up idea. I copied the file, and I did the entire rendering process in reverse. So instead of painting in everything, I went one by one, erasing everything, and then in editing, reversed the video so it looked like I was shading it. I don't know what you said, Dempsey. I think you're muted.
Sorry, you did triple the work then, basically.
It was. But yeah, my go-to if I ever forget to record, depending on how much of the video it is, it's do it backwards and then reverse the video in post, which works out pretty well. I don't know if anyone's ever been able to tell when it's happened.
I've got a different solution, but that's because I time-lapse record everything that I draw. So I do it in segments as well, and I've had it not only at the beginning of a video where I thought it's recording and I've hit the button and it's done the bit, and then for some reason it stopped, whether I ran out of space or anything, or partway through, because I do it in segments as well, just to make sure I can get a clear cut of each bit as I go along. I get to a certain point, I'll stop it. At a certain point, I'll stop it, and then a certain point. So I know I've done this, and this. But because I do the time lapse, you can then technically zoom in on the time lapse and slow it down to about 75%, and it'll look like it's already, because it's already quite quickly done anyway. You can slow it down, and it'll look a bit choppy, but it's still got the process of adding bits onto it a little bit.
Right.
And sometimes you can, with the massive speed of everything, you can actually drop that in and either leave it how it is after you clip a section out, or drop it down to find the section in the time lapse and then make it a bit longer. That has worked. It's not the best solution. It's just like you're editing it in reverse and flipping it around. Yeah. But it's a quick solution you can do at that point to try and keep that. But yeah, I've done it recently as well. I was recording in the live stream. I was live and I was recording, and I literally just thought that, then started drawing the eyes and stuff after having a break, came back and I looked at it and I was like, went to stop it and I'm like, no, I could have used that. That was the best part of the live stream, and I didn't record any of it from high quality of the iPad. It's like, no. So it even happens to us when we're doing it live, let alone when we're in the comfort of our own homes, or whether we're drawing and just going, there's no pressure, nobody's watching me.
Yeah, this has happened to me as well. Most recently, well, it wasn't me not hitting the record button. I hit the record button, but then after the drawing was done, I accidentally deleted all the recording of me doing it, so I had absolutely nothing to show for it. But I did figure something out. I basically played a black and white version of an old recording drawing from a previous episode, and said that this drawing was being hidden for plot reveal purposes. And really, it was just I didn't have the recording anymore.
Yeah. Luckily, I've never got... I don't know if I want to put that out into the world. Luckily, I've never gotten corrupted footage. That's mostly because, and this contributes to the storage thing, I record in MKV. So that means if anything is to ever go wrong with OBS, the program will stop the recording where it is, and everything that's been recorded will be fine. Whereas if I recorded straight to MP4 and let's say the power went out, all of that would be lost. So it takes up a little extra space because now I have 2 copies of one video, because Premiere, unfortunately, I don't think any editing software actually takes MKV, but it takes up a little extra space, but it is definitely worth it because anxiety. All right. It's been a long time since I've fallen this behind on the chat, but let's see.
Just like old times.
Just like old times. All right. Who haven't had a question answered yet?
We've got Stephen, Inkman Studios, drawing with Mr. S. We've got a couple. We've got like 20 odd stored from the question.
Yeah, I'm looking all those. This will be a quick one. Fantasy Creed, just real quick. I know I've already asked a question. I'm curious how you're doing that pop-up question thing on screen. Dempsey has a subscription to this service called StreamYard. I don't exactly know what the prices are, but you're allowed to invite people to admin. So instead of using the normal OBS that I usually use for streams, we've got this fancy online website kind of thing that's giving me all these cool animations.
Yeah. You can do it through OBS with if you got Stream Elements, you can get an alert which you and a Google add-on for the actual pop-up chat that you have, and once it pops up, you put the address from the popped out chat from your control panel on YouTube into OBS, and you can click on a comment and it will load up via OBS. But this one is StreamYard, and there is a free version. It'll give you the logo in the top corner where Kingpin's logo is. It'll give you a powered by StreamYard icon in the top corner by the top right for the free version, but it'll still give you the ability to have the comments pop up if you're using it. So yeah, it's quite a cool feature. It's quite nice. Yeah,
it's really fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Next up, This one is something we can all answer. Drawing with Mr. Sepovita. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry.
I've named him Mr. S on my stream just to make it easier.
Their question is, would you ever consider adding other artists to your group art collabs? I am always down to it. Working with you all has been a blast. And I've even got to work with Knight outside of the artist community. We were playing video games on boss level just the other week, and I would love to work with more people on that. But yeah, I think we set a little bit of criteria just so it's not like anybody there. I think, what was it? It was something like they have to show like they're really into it and doing it consistently.
Yeah, so the key thing is consistently on your channel, so posting regularly. It doesn't matter if it's once a week, once a month when you're dropping your videos out, as long as you're doing it regularly, and you can see that you're putting the effort in. And then it's also a case of, I guess it's also a case of how well it can integrate to join us in collabs, depending what the collab is, to what the topic of your channel is. Just because not everyone will do stories over the top, but doesn't mean you can't join us in like a fusion collab or something.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
We can cater for a lot of it, and we're welcome to have more people. It's just, like I say, it's a case of consistency is the main key one, because we all got selected and had shout outs on that for being consistent. So that's the biggest key to go into it. And then it's a case of,
it feels like gatekeeping, but I've worked with people. I have a long history of working with people who don't always follow through, so I totally understand it, but I always kind of feel a little bad.
Yeah, it's because sometimes the collabs, or some of the collabs will have a strict deadline for something being released. So, for example, the Transformers collab we did previously, that was because the trailers came out, but there was also another one that we did earlier on the year. Digital Circus, or one of, was it the Godzilla? Did we do a Godzilla collab?
Yeah,
the Godzilla collab.
World, Godzilla, Digital Circus, and
Deadpool and Wolverine. So it's like the movie was coming out, so we had to hit around that time, whether it's just before, just after, or on it. There's certain deadlines that you've got to do, and the only way we know that you're potentially going to be able to do that is if you're consistent on your channel.
Right.
Obviously, if you've got like real life things that come into play out of it, and you're transparent on your community tab, that's fine as well, because we all have that. We all accept that. As long as you're transparent to your audience, you're not trying to get clout or anything by joining the group, and you're in it for the fun of it. Those are mainly the criteria. It's just a case.
And there's a lot of cool artists on YouTube that I would love to work with.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
I know we were talking
not
about...
we were talking about it the other day in our group. Maybe not in like a 16-person collab, but like a one-on-one thing would always be cool. Cool, not cruel.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about possibly more people to add, and a few of them are actually in this chat currently.
Yeah.
It's just down to finding time to, go through everybody and then schedule it all in, because the other thing to bear in mind is time zones are a nightmare. Thanks, that's me, everyone.
Sure are.
So it's also been...
The next criteria for joining the artist group, you have to exist outside of time.
Or don't sleep very often, which is why I'm in the group. Hi.
Yeah, my insomnia is the only reason I'm here.
Yeah. Moving on, we have a question from... I can't decide. Somebody pick a question.
Where is it? I've got one for you that'll be quite good. I'm going to pick Steven's question, because I want to know how your reaction to it is, in terms of, I think it's a cool idea, but also at the same time, it's like, would you?
Okay. Steven says, will you allow Popcross Studios to add you in his series Multiverse Tales in the role of an overseer? So I have a question for this. Do you mean me as in me as a person? Into like probably not by name, I'm guessing, but like a character heavily based off of me as a person, or one of my characters into his story.
Oh, that's a good interpretation, actually. That'd
Because
be
both,
interesting.
I mean, both ways, the answer is it's up to him. I would be fine with it. It would be cool. I don't know if I personally would make a good overseer. But that would be very interesting. It'd be a really weird way to air quotes be noticed. Because it's one thing to be like, oh, a character I've done or a character I've made has been featured in a pop cross video. Words are hard. But being yourself being put into something has got to be weird.
Yes, I would say it's as weird as when you first record yourself for a video or a live stream and you see yourself on camera, and it is such a weird, surreal experience because you're not used to it. Your brain's like, you want to look at what's going on rather than just trust and speak to the camera or just speak how it is. You can always tell when you're not used to it because you keep getting distracted by all the little movements in the corner of the eye and stuff. It'll be like that. You've seen yourself in even drawn as an artwork on something or in a animation or even a film. You'll be like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it would be really cool. Popcross, if you're out there, we've got ideas for you. But no, overall, like, if he does decide to do it, first off, go ahead. I'm gonna bite my tongue about not wanting royalties. We'll see how it does first.
Dude, it's
yeah,
royalties all the way. Forget it. Just go for it. If you're getting included in it, then you know.
Yeah,
It would be cool to get
getting
some
money, do
royalties.
whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, because this sounds like if you get included in the series, how often are you in the series? You could be a one-off one-shot in the series. Get royalties for it for that one video at least.
I'm cool with a one shot. All right. Next up, question by I believe Inkman Studios hasn't been answered yet, and they've got a lot of interesting questions. Unfortunately, I don't know if I can answer any of them because a lot of them are like, have you heard about? So I'll fly through these. Have you heard about the Indigo Park update? I've heard of it. I did not get to watch the video yet. So I'm not entirely sure what it entails, but if it's a new chapter, which I doubt would be announced anytime soon. They just released the first one, so I'm guessing it's going to be a while before chapter 2 comes out. But if it is that would be cool. Another one of their questions, which has a quick answer, is what did you think of this Disney Zombies movie? I didn't even know there was a Disney Zombies movie.
I've seen all three.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
There's 3 of them. I've seen them. I think the first and the second one were better than the final one, but I did like the way the story progressed. It like continues from each one going forward. However, it's one of those Disney musical type ones, like a High School Musical. It's like it's just a monster version of that. It was quite cool. There's something I just didn't. It was okay. It's just something that just didn't make it like wow,
Right.
if that makes sense. But it's a really cool concept, and it's really, really interesting to watch.
Yeah. I want to watch Agatha all along. I haven't kept up with Marvel. That one seems a little interesting though, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But one I could probably answer and give Inkman Studios a little bit more time. Favorite restaurants and menu items. And as soon as I clicked on that, I've forgotten all restaurants.
So, do you
I
guys
don't
still
know.
have ponderosas over there? Those
Have
like
what?
where you can ponderosas. I think they were called that. When I went to Florida when I was younger, every so often you drove, you'd get like this little, almost like a diner restauranty place, and you can go and you can order a single meal, and then it's unlimited refills of whatever food was around the center bit and the ice creams and
Oh.
stuff. So you could go in and buy like a steak and a chips, and then you could have pasta, pizza, chips, sausages, whatever's all the way around the middle aisle bit, and then you could always go up and use the ice cream thing. If you've ordered one dessert, it's infinite refills while you're there. This was like going back quite a while, but you know, those are my favorite restaurants that I've ever been to.
Yeah, I've never heard of this. I'm on their website. There doesn't seem to be any in my state.
Oh, that's the real shame. You're gonna have to go on a road trip.
Yeah. One of my favorites is me and my family order from a sushi restaurant every so often. I love sushi. And I get like these tuna rolls and stuff like that. Spicy lobster, I love. Spicy crab. I don't even know. Like a lot of the sushi ones go by weird names, so if I said them, nobody would even know what's in them. There's some the place I go to actually has something called a Kyle roll. I don't remember what's in it, but there was that. If my internet could work, I could tell you what's in it. But sushi's really good. I'm a big fan of chicken, so a chicken place. But no, I don't have specifics, unfortunately. Nope. Why did that not work? Okay, why is it the roll I'm looking for doesn't exist? One of my favorite ones is spicy tuna, avocado, and fish eggs.
That's an interesting combination.
Yeah, it's really good though. It's called the rock and roll, and it's really cool. Also, I saw a follow-up question from Ven. So one of those sushi conveyor restaurants, not the one I order from, but when I was in California, I went to one of those. Interesting concept. I eat too much sushi for that to be financially responsible in a place like that.
So you're the sushi equivalent at home where he goes in, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I'm not finished eating yet when they're trying to close up.
Mm-hmm. Because the sushi, I don't find sushi so good, but it's not a single roll isn't filling, so you got to get more onto it. I think that's how they make most of their money.
Yeah, that's fair.
Question from Ark. I believe we've covered. Oh wait, nope. Caden King has one, and I don't believe Caden King has gotten the spotlight yet. Caden King, questions. What are all the narrators you have so far, and what kind of narrators would you like to create in the future, if any? All right, this is a question I don't know if I have the correct answer to. Let's see. Narrators so far: 50 and 51. The demon narrators. Ivan a Clue, the more alien-based one. Unnamed fantasy beast character. Unnamed folklore character. My two guests have left and put the spotlight on me. Katie Damon, which I don't know. She was the Venomized Park narrator for My Singing Monsters and the Community Redraw Venomized. I don't really know how she would factor into another case just because of how her last episode ended. Professor Marcus Plague, of course, SCPs. I think that's it. Is that it? That might be it. I'm just gonna take a real quick glance at my channel playlist and see if I'm missing anyone's. Let's see.
You need to start a narrator database like I have, because it's it's like, yeah, I've got this. It's like, have I missed anyone? And then you suddenly realize the stream will end, and you'll be the end of it, and you'll put a comment going, "Oh my god, I can't believe I missed this one."
What I do want to do, and this is a community poll I've been meaning to put out for a while. I want to make the r/boss fight videos. I have a story for that, and I would like to make a narrator for that. But I also want to gauge if the audience prefers the one-shots and design notes or would like to see I wouldn't say overarching story at the moment, but like a more connected storyline across all the drawings of the r/bots fights. Because I have a really cool idea for a narrator for that one that I would like to include. As I mentioned previously, I have the bare bones of an idea for a mech narrator, just kind of in terms of character design and personality. I just don't know if I have a storyline based off of it yet, which admittedly could come a little later for something like that, but I still want to give it a little more thought, and of course flesh out the already existing characters, because I rattled off like 6 to 7 already. Motions chart, collab videos, indie, boss fight, voice acting, custom clothing, Professor Marcus Plague, Demon Cyclopedia. I haven't a clue. Did I mention him? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you did. I think he was the
those
third
are the
one
only ones that have actual playlists. Cool. So that wasn't even helpful. But I believe those are all of them, and I probably should make a playlist that throws all of them together, similar to the Multiverse Tales, which we have not a name for yet. We're still called the whole thing is still overarching or unnamed overarching series.
Yeah, I'm going to just drop a quick comment from Ark up that's in relation to the last question. Ark, you'd be very brave to do this. I don't think I would do this just because I would be brave enough to. But I have a crazy idea. Not a question, but imagine you pick a random subscriber as a narrator.
To voice them, or, well, I mean, it would be very hard.
I'd say base them off would probably be at least the borderline. It's based on a bit of information from that person and the design similar to how they look. But
right.
I'd be scared to do that if it wasn't a family member or something.
Yeah. I mean, like, you see it at the end of movies all the time. It's like, everybody in this movie is purely fictional. Anything related to any real world person is purely coincidental.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if the time frame of videos wasn't so crunched. It'd be really cool to incorporate friends that I've made through voice acting to include them, or even like get boss level to voice some characters for a one-off or something. But unfortunately, like I said, writing takes forever, and it's usually a week-by-week basis. But it would be really cool to include other people in the grand scheme of things. Maybe this is an idea I had recently. If nope, there it is. If I was to like take, for example, to capture a corpse or that little one-off story, and turn that into like a comic page, I think that would be really cool to ask another person, like, hey, I'll voice one character. Do you want to voice this second character in it? I'd really like that. I also want to get better at redrawing the same character over and over. So maybe live stream of turning one of the story arcs into a character. Not character, comic page.
That'd be fun.
Another cool one you could do is draw like headshots of your character in different poses or styles on a page, like just sketching a character for the stream. So you do different poses and that you just almost like a character reference sheet you're drawing for yourself, like a full-on side turning the head. You just draw all different poses and outfits and just draw them randomly. I've seen other artists do that with their OCs. They'll like, the season will change. They'll be like, drawing my OCs in a summertime outfit or an autumn outfit or summer, and it just keeps them practicing drawing the characters, which could be a cool way to do it as well.
Yeah. Actually, that would be cool too, because it would be like a Monster Prom or visual novel based thing. Same character, different poses, different clothing. That could be a good thing to try out. Yeah. I'll have to give that a go. I want to start pushing my art into places that I haven't covered yet.
Okay, can I pick the next one, please? This made me
Yes,
chuckle.
go ahead.
It's a Fantasy Creed one. I keep hearing about narrators. What's up with that? Asking for a friend. I'm definitely keeping up with content.
So Fantasy Creed, a lot of our videos are inspired by a YouTuber named Popcross Studios who does a lot of speed point. I'm going from the very beginning because I don't actually know how much you know. But Popcross does a lot of speed paints and telling stories behind that. Like writing little lore based on the characters he's drawing. And what he's started doing a couple years ago is creating his own characters to narrate different topics. So the Benny Sharp we were mentioning at the very beginning of the stream covered any time he drew mech armors and stuff. And he has ones for Fantasy Beast, SCPs, all stuff like that. And so they're referred to as narrators as they narrate the story. But essentially they're just OCs that take the spotlight for specific videos. And there are underlying or sometimes overlying story arcs that surround the characters, different character relations and dynamics. It's really just a way for us to work in original characters into our pop culture related videos, just to give it a sense of originality to it. Did any of that make sense?
It's also fun to try the voices that we come up with them and the accents when we do them. Try and make them.
Oh yeah, for me it's an excuse to do voice acting. Next up, okay, real quick behind the scenes, I was editing the title of the video just to include the two of you are here. I almost accidentally hit the end stream button.
Oh no.
That's it, folks. He's had enough of questions. We'll be back.
Thank you so much for the question. It's really cool. I'm glad I got to answer it. I've seen a couple. Wait, I didn't get to. What was the Fantasy Creed one? I didn't get to read it. Oh, I've seen a couple of vids where Kingpin's vids where he was making up stories. I see. Thanks for providing context. No problem. It's actually been very fun. Writing, like I said, is really hard, but I don't think I would have come up with stories that I'm really passionate about that I want to do more with if I wasn't doing this. But yeah,
I've got to say really cool. The same for me. I was doing drawings with just music over the top, and it wasn't until
I used to do those back years ago.
I started doing a couple stories on them, just basic ones, just like I just started venomizing stuff and making my own story on a regular basis. And then eventually everybody wanted me to create a narrator, and then it just built off from that.
Yeah. I want to. There's so many good questions. I take too long to answer. That's the problem. Let's see. Nerd, do you want to pick a question?
Sure. I'll just look real quick.
Yeah, there's too many to choose from, and I want to get to everyone's, but I got to give monologues for every answer, unfortunately.
I kind of like this one. I don't know if you're even doing anything, but
what's
still
in
got a
store
few
for your
months.
channel anniversary stream? Well, first off, I don't even know when the channel anniversary stream would be. Technically, the channel started, I made the channel in February, which is why I did that 5-hour-long stream, which I'm mad. I wish I did longer. But technically, the first video was the first new video, not old ones I brought over from my other channel, was May 22nd, 2023. But if I have any ideas, no, I haven't thought of that yet. I have a few months, luckily, but those will come out. Those will pass me by real quickly. So I probably should start thinking. Yeah, no, I have nothing at the moment. I know Boss Level is hopefully planning a stream for their our 1 year anniversary, which is insane. I've never run a gaming channel for a solid uninterrupted year. So I've never run a channel for a solid interrupted year. So having done that earlier this year was really cool. And I'm excited to celebrate another anniversary soon. But yeah, as of right now, no plans. Sorry to disappoint.
He's going to be a famous voice actor by then. It's going to all be rebranded as Voice Pin Creations. Just going for it with the fusion videos.
Put it out.
Oh, well,
like I've got projects. I've got projects to my name. There's things I'm working on that I can't talk about yet, but are coming out. Fingers crossed sooner rather than later. But yeah, like being able to do what I do here, not much in the drawing sense, but in the voice acting sense, being able to do that in something bigger than myself is just weird. Like I haven't gotten anything, like I haven't been into the animation series yet. Really want to though. But I've been in like student made video games, comic dubs, fan creations, stuff like that. And just being in those is really cool. And I'm actually glad I get to do that. And if I ever got recognized for something like that, I don't know how I would handle it. I don't know how I would handle it if I got recognized in public doing this.
It would be surreal.
It is surreal. I don't know. I think the kids were playing a prank on me once, but I was at an arcade once. This was back when I was doing my old channel, very much in the beginning when it was still gaming. A bunch of kids came up to me and it's like, I forget the exact question. It was like, are you, either they said the name or someone, or like, are you a famous YouTuber? And I'm like, no, but I don't even think I said I have a channel. I'm just like, nah, I think you have me mistaken for someone else. And then I got out of there as fast as I could. Yeah, I think those kids were messing with me. That was like 10 years ago. All right. Next question. Random, eyes closed. This one. Question. Will you do Marvel heroes as DC villains or anti-heroes? Wait. Oh, question. Will you do Marvel heroes as DC villains, anti-heroes on the Suicide Squad, like how Popcross did? Because since Captain America Brave New World and Ironheart trailers are somewhat out. I always very iffy about not copying, but using a pre-existing idea that someone else has done. Just because like I know I've said before, like, oh, I'm cool if anyone wants to use an idea I've used for a video, because they'll always be different. But I feel weird about doing it myself for some reason. But I'm very hesitant about doing the Marvel and DC stuff only because I know nothing. Like, I know Popcross is like, yeah, I've been a huge comic fan and writing those stories are easy for me. When I did the Pixar characters as DC villains, the story writing, I'm staring at a blank document. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know where to start looking for people. Like, what superhero do I connect this villain to? Like, what can I do with stuff like that? So I would like to do a Suicide Squad video, because I think that'd be really cool. But the same thing with the dragons, same thing with the dinosaurs. There's a factor in specifically the Marvel DC type videos that is very, very, like, is, what is the right word? Pushing me, like, causing me to hold off on making one of those. Like, I could make a generic superhero or an unbranded superhero video, no problem. It's when I have to relate it to something I know, something so vast that I know nothing about, that it becomes very what's the right word? Scary. Because like FNAF, I don't know too much about, but that's like easy to understand to find lore for a video. But Marvel and DC, it's just like it's staring. I don't even have a good analogy. It's staring into like
The abyss.
yeah, it's like staring into a black hole, being like, I have no idea how to even start to comprehend this.
Yeah, I mean, you could take the Venom verse for a start with all the different things. You've got Eddie Brock's son with some really badass symbiotes that are combined with him, two of them, to make a new thing. With the, if you like, the symbiote wars that's going on, with Peter Parker getting Venom back and Eddie Brock having another one that's in the comics that you see shorts about. And that's just one of a multitude of storylines that you can use from the comics to in any type of the pop culture crossovers, mashups we do. Right.
Another question coming from Benjamin Neal. I have to clarify because I always get confused because there's Ben and then there's Ven, and it's very close. So I want to make sure I know who I'm talking about. But Benjamin Neal says, are you going to have your characters go on an adventure with any of Popcross's narrators to face off against maybe Tarsa? And who would you have which of your characters have worked? Once again, up to Popcross. I can't just insert myself into his storyline, although I would like to. Who would I put up against Tarsa? Whew. I need more water.
You've got him that nervous, he needs to down his entire flask and then go, I haven't a clue.
I don't know.
Should have been the best answer you could have done.
The problem is none of them have been introduced to have any kind of special magical ability or even combat prowess that I could say, oh yeah, they'd be able to hold their own. Everyone would get soloed by Tarsa easily. I guess the folklore narrator who's able to craft weapons out of thin air, provided they have the correct materials, would be the only one who stands a chance. Our Fantasy Beast narrator is in no way ready to start doing any sort of fighting, as we've seen in the last episode where he started going on the adventure. I guess it's it's my characters against Popcross's narrators. So I guess Alistair, there's technically two Alistairs, but one of them's not canon, I guess. There was the Alistair from over a year ago for a one-off story I did. But there's Alistair from the Fantasy Beast, which head knight of the kingdom, has some sort of fighting prowess. So he'd put up a fight, but since he's not technically putting out magic, like he just knows how to fight and not in like a otherworldly sense. I don't think he would fare very well. The Dark Ones. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think you should have Tarsa go and see 1551 in their home dimension and realm, and then they can use the Demonomicron to create demons to wear her out and eventually defeat her, because it's a book that even if she destroys the pages or something, they've got all these demons recorded in it.
Yeah,
they can bring them back for training purposes, so just send them one after the other.
Yeah, but they can't make their own. The Dark Ones can only use the training pages of the Demon Encyclopedia. Anything they create doesn't actually exist, so they might be soloed too.
Yeah, but you lock them in a room with everything that doesn't exist. You can't hurt. Can't hurt them.
Now I remember. Marcus Plague might be the only one who stands a chance. Only Professor Marcus Plague is the only one who might stand a chance. Only if he has Duck Scare. And even still, I'm sure Tarsa will have a way to beat that.
Doesn't he have Benny's phone number? They're cousins. Call for backup.
Yeah, we got a question from Apple Flavors. Here's a question I've been asking many times because life is still a bit difficult to schedule. How can I be a bit more consistent with content creation with the fact school is taking time? Well, number one, find a schedule that works for you. I do, what is it called? What am I doing? I do once a week just because with my schedule, and at the rate I work, I can easily pull that off with a few days of rest to spare in between each video. But you don't have to do that. Like Dempsey said earlier, you can make it a week. You can make it every month, every 2 weeks, whatever works for you. But the only way to be truly consistent is to do something you love. If you want to make content and you want to make content consistently, you have to make content you love doing. If I was doing, I don't know, what's something I'm not a huge fan of, cooking videos, let's say something like that. If I was a cooking channel or if I made cooking videos, I would probably be less likely to upload consistently because although I do like cooking, I couldn't do it consistently without getting bored per se. This is a horrible example because I need to eat every day in order to survive, so I would have to cook every day. But to do it in front of a camera is a totally different vibe, and so it would be more exhausting to keep up with. So find a schedule that does work for you. You can use other people as influence, but you do not have to make it specifically what they do. Like Popcross uploads 2 videos a week. That would be awesome if I could do that. I physically can't make the time for that at the rate that I work. And so I've cut it down to 1 video a week and a live stream weekly when I can. But I'm doing it all with something I love doing. And so that's how I'm able to keep up consistently with it.
That, or you could just be me and develop insomnia. You get an extra 8 hours and you can do whatever you want.
It's those pills from American Dad, isn't it? They make you feel after 8 hours. You just take one of these pills and you're up all night learning everything you can do what you want.
Yeah. That works too. That's slightly less healthier, but it's an option.
Yeah, I would say pick a schedule that suits you, like a release day, maybe once a week. You're going to drop the videos out on a Friday or something, and then do little and often. So set mini goals. Maybe, I mean, this is going on a weekly basis, as an example. Don't stick to a week. If you find 2 weeks, 3 weeks, once a month works for you because you can do something you're happy to produce and put out there that you love, that's the goal. But basically, you want to set a deadline. So maybe, I don't know, if it's a week, maybe Monday's writing the script in an evening or something. Then the next day could be, and I'm using an example of what we do with ours, like stories as well. So you write the script out. Maybe the next 2 days or 3 days is you do a drawing, or if you're only doing one drawing out the entire video, you work on it for, say, an hour or two on a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night and a Thursday night to complete it. And then by Friday, you're editing it to be ready to be done. You upload it and you schedule it to go on a Saturday or a Sunday, and you just repeat the process. You just do little and often. You do it so it works around what you need it to work around.
Right. Also, Fantasy Greed brings up a good point. I don't know if they want us to put it on the screen, so I'm going to refrain from that. But also, do not be afraid to change your schedule. If something comes up and it prevents you from completing it in the schedule you set for yourself, then just put out a reminder if we're talking about content creation specifically, but be like, hey, wanted this video to be good, things came up that were unexpected, gonna have to delay it a little bit. 99% of the time people are understanding. I've never had to delay something or cancel live stream and somebody goes, I don't believe this is ridiculous. So do not be afraid to alter your schedule if you need to. People will understand.
People will heckle you though. I'll say they'll heckle, which means they're having a joke by making a comment about it, but not actually trying to be insulting.
Yeah.
So, for example, I've had to move in the past from things happening, whether it's a live stream or something. Maybe the green screen of doom came up and we had to stop a live stream. So the comments after I say we'll try again another day is usually, it wouldn't be a Dempsey stream if someone didn't go on it, for example. Or recently I've had to do more live streams because of just the work-life balance and a few things happening meant that I haven't had time to work on a video. So I'm pushing the video back and back, but I'm swapping around to another bit of content like a live stream or something, which might work if you find
really
doing live streams work.
Streams have been amazing.
Yeah, they're great fun. You get to interact real time. Well, 99.99999% real time because of the 10-second delay from YouTube, but
Yeah.
you get to react almost real time with your audience, like we are now, and draw or do whatever your passion is on a stream for people to enjoy, and then people can come along and watch it. They can go off, and at the end of the day, you've done some content, so you've done something for your audience. So that's another option you can do, is swap the content around a bit if you need to, or your schedule, as we were saying for the original question.
All right. This should be a quick answer. Caden King says, did you guys see the new trailer for Digital Circus 3? Yes,
No, I've got it open. Sorry.
I did.
I didn't. I've got it open on another tab for afterwards or tomorrow. I saw it just before the stream. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I can't watch that yet.
I'm excited. New episode, what was it? It said like October 4th, which is cool. I'm sure I'll be busy that day and won't get to watch it live, but yeah, no, it's really interesting. I wish I had something to make. I wish I had a show of my own.
Yeah, but it's the time to actually make the show of your own between everything else is the problem. It's not the fact that I wish I had one. It's like, I wish I could find the time to even schedule little and often to get one.
Yeah. This could be a cool one. From Ark. What device for drawing would you think is good? Just asking. That really depends on your personal preference. I know I have friends who work really well in Procreate on an iPad, or just on an iPad in general. I know people who work on phones, people who do better traditional pencil and paper. I will say personally, I work better when I have something like a drawing tablet with a paper-like screen to it. So I also have a laptop that's touchscreen, but it's a different feeling because it is a glass screen rather than a more matte texturing, and it's a rubber tip stylus instead of the plastic one that I use for my drawing tablet. And so it's a different process almost. So my advice would be try out different ones if you can. I know technology is expensive and so are programs, but try out different ones, whichever one you have access to, and see which one works best for you. Also, you can always go swap around and hone your skills on different ones. Because I know, like, I'm all right pencil and paper. I do a lot more digitally, but, practicing both constantly. So, stuff like that.
I would also say it depends if you travel a lot or not. So if you're going to be out and about a lot, an iPad with an Apple Pencil is probably more efficient for you, because I know you do most of your drawings Arc with your finger on your phone, which is really insane when I see it and what you do at the time span you do it in. Blows my mind every time. But I find that an iPad is really useful to be out and about. I'm traveling out and about all over the place, but I can still work on what I'm doing if I get 10 minutes here. If I've got to go in the office for work one day, I could sit down for my lunch break and I can be drawing while I'm eating my lunch, for example, on the iPad. It's not a problem. I can take it wherever I go. Whereas with the pen displays that you get, or some laptops that you get, they're a bit heavy with extra plugins and displays that you've got to take with them. Even some of the smaller ones, they're a bit awkward to, even though they're portable, they're not quite as portable as an iPad. But as Kingpin said, it's what works for you. Give everything a try, really. Just see what happens. You're more than happy to go in the Apple Store and try drawing on their things with an iPad. You don't have to buy it. Just say you want to try it out and just use the display ones to draw. They can't argue with it. You know, they can't complain about it. They'll have some basic program in there, whether it's the notes one or something, where you can actually just get a feel for the drawing or the sketching. So you can test it out there, or you can, you know, borrow a friend's one or something if they've got it and they draw, just to see what kind of feel you get from it.
Nice. Yeah. I saw one that you all have been talking about in the comments. Do we want to bring it up, or has it been answered? The one about the editing programs.
Oh yeah, we've kind of answered it. I mean, it depends. I answered as you, by the way. I typed in here.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, I don't remember typing that.
Yeah, that answer's a bit sus. The imposter's here in the room.
I'll answer it really
Yes.
quickly. The question was, what'd you say, nerd?
I said that's the fun thing. We can make Kingpin say whatever he wants. Surprised we haven't explained that by now.
The question was, what editing programs could I use for vids? I've been wanting to start YouTube, but I'm not sure where to start. Well, the second part, the don't know where to start, just really start. You'll never know what you'll like doing unless you start doing it.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
You'll never know what you like until you start doing it. So definitely, like, give it a try. Do not worry about not being good enough in terms of let's say we're doing art videos, for example. Do not worry at all about not being good enough to start making videos. If you look at some of my old digital paintings from the start of this channel, they're all right. They're not great at all. So never let feeling like you're not good enough or you're not ready prevent you from doing it. Now, technological wise, that's a different issue. That's a different subject matter. As Dempsey said, Dempsey and Fantasy Creed said, DaVinci is a free program that you can use on apparently iPhones and iPads too, that I didn't know about. I'm trying to answer questions seriously, and apparently I'm overthrowing balls.
I'm about to put that on screen. I'm sorry, that was quite good.
Hold up.
That was amazing.
I need to screenshot this now and send it.
Yeah. Also, after the realization he suddenly came out with.
All right. Next
anyway,
question.
Getting back to that question just quickly, the one that we had, just to add on to that, a lot of the top advice channels like vidIQ, Channel Makers or Nate Black, Think Media podcast, they all say just start and do it and just go for it. Up to your first 100 videos, you're not really going to be making good videos. It's getting to learn the process, learn what you're doing, take one element from your video and increase it each time, and do the learning curve bits. Take your video and improve one thing every time you produce a video. So just go for it. In terms of if you have any technical issues, you could always go live with a Q&A for your channel. If you've got knowledge on a certain subject you're passionate about and that's your channel topic, you can always go live from your mobile phone after you hit a certain criteria as well, or from a desktop from the studio app. You only need a phone plugged into the computer, if you've got one, for a camera, and then off you go. Because that's pretty much what I'm using now, a phone plugged into the computer.
Yeah. Fun fact, I'm not even at 100 long form videos yet, despite what the channel says. I did daily drawings for a long time at the start of my channel's life as shorts, which I couldn't keep up with. Drawing on this laptop is a nightmare. So I couldn't keep up with it. Even though I wanted to try and get better at drawing on it, but with the glass screen, I cannot do it. But yeah, I'm not even at 100 videos yet, and I've been doing this for over a year. So I'm still not perfect with what I'm doing, nor has it even, like, as Fantasy Creed as right here. As Fantasy Creed says, it takes at least 100 videos to find your style and 50 more to perfect it. I'm not even in the perfecting stage yet. I'm still trying to figure out what works, what makes for good videos, what do I want to add, if anything, in post-production. So yeah, just start. The journey, you learn during the journey. You learny during the journey. I'm writing that one down.
The other thing to bear in mind also is, even if you get to say, I've got 539 videos, I know probably about 100 are probably shorts, or it feels like 100 are shorts, but even if you do hundreds of videos, there'll be videos where you want to try something new later on down the line on a new topic or a new way of showing it. Your style and what you want in your video will change. So don't be afraid to change it, or try something new. And if it doesn't work, go back to your old style of the video that you know works. But even Mr. Beast, even Popcross Studios, the larger channels, they're all tweaking what they do in their videos bit by bit, but you don't notice it because it's little and often, unless it's a massive big rebranding change or something.
Right.
But yeah, it's just do it. Or yeah, you're learning during the journey.
All right. What is going to be our next question?
I'm going to pick arcs.
Okay.
That's just put in there. Has anybody thought of doing your own angelic demon? Just because it's quite a cool concept to have a half angel, half demon character. Mm-hmm. But it's like, have you actually thought of it before, or would you?
I've thought of, well, a big thing of narrators. Like when making a narrator, the first thing I always go into is what is the dichotomy of the subject matter around them, or like taking existing characters, what is the complete opposite of what that character is. So like Professor Dresden Oakland, dead serious, all about the SCPs, all informative, fits the SCP to a T, or the SCP Foundation to a T. I literally thought, what it could be the complete opposite of that for a character for me. And so, also, let me finish this thought first. So yeah, it would be really cool to fuse the total opposites of something into a character. And one of my favorite monsters is Dr. Jekyll. Using the term monsters loosely. One of my favorite monsters is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's a really good story. But it's exactly that. It's the man and the monster. One half of each. And so I don't know if it would be specifically angelic demon if I were to do a character like that, but I do always love the dichotomatic characters.
Dichotomy?
Yeah. I don't know if dichotomatic is a word, but yeah, the dichotomy character idea. I don't know if either of you have ideas for a character like that, but yeah.
I thought of it mainly because of Ark just joining their character. Well, I thought about the concept of doing it, but not sure how I would do it with what storyline or anything. Mainly because of the whole concept of heaven, hell, good. How far do you... And we had this conversation with Ark on another stream. How far do you go into the actual religious or the factual aspects of heaven, hell, characters to put into your story, compared to what you could do with your story? I mean, if you're being vague with it and just taking key points that can match into your story, perfect, go for it. If you're being a bit more factual on it, then you really got to do your homework. So I thought about doing a character, maybe just drawing a character that way, which would be great. Taking it further than maybe drawing a character and seeing what I come up with, I haven't really got that far yet, because it's the whole concept, as you say, is how is this character supposed to be portrayed? What's the backstory? What's the essence of the character? And that's what makes characters relatable, is the essence behind them. What makes them something people will want to see or interact with or see more of, or what makes their defining points and weaknesses.
Yeah. I still have to get around to watching Popcross's 2 videos, like his 2 writing videos. I'm trying to go in order to catch up on some of the videos. Don't tell him. But I think those 2 really need to jump the gun, or jump the queue, in order for me to get better at the storytelling. Because I there's so many stories I want to tell, but I want to make sure I do them right. And this is going totally against what I said before of the just do it thing. But lost my train of thought. Sorry. But so a little asterisk to the just do it thing. When I say just do it, obviously you don't want to jump in completely blind, especially if it's a story, like a book or anything. You want to have an outline, and you want to have what is it called? You want to have an outline. You want to have the base story before really publishing it.
Yeah, you want to have like the general layout before,
Yeah, exactly.
Getting into it.
What was I talking about?
You're talking about Popcross's writing videos and how you need to like structure things before you start doing them.
Thank you. Wow, my mind went blank. That's not good. But yeah, so like the stuff like that, I really want to make sure I do the things right. Wow,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, wow, that is not good. Nice. Okay, next question. Frederick Studios says, question for King. What do you like to draw more, humanoids or creatures? 90% of the channel has been humanoids, only because like there's stuff to it. There's like the anatomy, stuff like that. You follow it and you learn anatomy and stuff like that. And I've always been drawing humanoid characters until recently. I've drawn a creature here or there. But I'm working on stories now that require me to design creatures and more monstrous looking things. And so I'm really getting more into liking drawing creatures. The community redraw from 2 months ago, no, not 2 months ago, last month, August, when I redrew Your Fantasy Creatures, that was so much fun. It was a new area for me, but was still happy with how all of it came out. So it's been humanoids up until this point, and what I like to draw more. It's slowly becoming creatures and beast. But overall, what gets the crown right now? Best thing I love drawing: fusions. Number 1, top of the list, followed closely by a second place for humanoids and creatures, and then redesign in a 3rd/4th place. But as I'm talking about this, I want to throw up what Creed said, which is also what Popcross told me that helped me out. And also, Dempsey, too, you helped me breaking into the less humanoid type of drawings. But one of the big things you want to do for drawing monsters, which has helped me, draw or study animal anatomy. Once you understand that, this is what Popcross told me, once you understand that, you can break the rules of animal anatomy and create hundreds of creatures.
Yeah, the best thing to do is break it down as well. So if you've got something like a chimera, study the parts or get a references. You don't have to study animals at such in depth, but it does help. Get good references. It doesn't matter if it's line art that people like. Pinterest is a perfect place for it. You can search for poses, and I get most of my character poses from either completed character designs or the line art versions where they show the body with nothing on it, no facial expression other than maybe eyes, nose, and mouth, no hair, nothing else. It's just the shape of the body. You can do it for animals as well and get the details of the fangs, the paws, all the individual aspects.
Yeah. Have
them open on the page for references and then just draw from that, because that's the biggest way you're going to learn. And it's just knowing what you actually want to get a reference of it to then start drawing it in your style.
Right. This one. Ooh, wow. There's two really good ones back to back. Let's go with Fantasy Creed first. How long have each of us been drawing?
On YouTube or
Yeah,
in
I would.
total?
Yeah. Consistently, I've been drawing for about July to August, September, October. No, okay, September to September is a year plus 2 months. Consistently about 14 months. I've been drawing. I've been doing a lot. I did a lot of Photoshop, photo bashing, or photo edits, I guess you would say. Before that, where it was taking different pictures and creating something out of that. I did some drawing on my previous channel back in 2020, some character designs. I've always loved character designing. But I took a large dip from drawing to focus on, like they said, the Photoshop stuff for a couple years. But I've always been sketching here and there. So I would say seriously drawing about 14 months, a little more, give or take. But like, well, this is all in college stuff, but like, I don't know, couple years of just like, I'm trying to do the math in my head. Three, 10 minus 3. What is 10 minus 3? 7. 7 years.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that. That is perfect. That somebody clip that.
About 7 years of creating in general, I'll say. Maybe a little more, 8 or 9. 7 to 9 years of creating. I'm out of this one. The two of you take.
Okay, he left. Great. We finally taken over the live stream.
You guys can tell us truly what you think of his art in the comments, and we'll answer the question. So, no, in terms of drawing, I guess I've been drawing since I was about 3 or 4. The oldest photo I've got is me. It's a black and white photo, and I'm on the path to the place where I lived, and I had an A3 sketchbook in one hand and another hand full of just felt tip markers. In terms of drawing consistently, the last 4 to 5 years on YouTube, I picked it up. I took a couple years out when I was going around to local comic cons and stuff with my art, and then I picked up YouTube, and ever since I picked it up, I've kind of been doing the drawings, and then I've been more consistent since I got monetized, or I got my first shout out back in May, I think 2019 or something like that. So yeah, like the last 5 years, I've been really consistent with it. But in terms of drawing, I can easily say decades. Easily. So yeah, I've been drawing for a couple of decades.
I guess 10 years wasn't completely accurate. I used to have like a whole book of like I had this thing called Book of Robots, and it was just random designs that I drew. So yeah, my answer means nothing. I don't know math.
7.
7.
Yeah, whatever that 10 minus 3 is, that long.
On the plus side, you're now underneath your logo.
Oh yeah, I am.
That's gonna work out.
That is poor coloring. That gray is not showing up on that green.
Not.
There we go.
You're gonna have to make it bright white or something just for the stream, like swap between 2 icons.
Anyway, so I have been drawing since about 2, obviously. Since round 2 is when I started drawing. I started doing like official art when I published my first graphic novel in like 6th grade, and I started doing drawing videos on YouTube on June 23rd, 2002.
I'm jealous that you two can remember that long ago.
I just remember because I've seen the photograph in like my mom's photo album of me on the actual pavement, like single slabs going down to the pavement with the grass either side, holding it in black and white. That's how I know how long ago it is. The photo is black and white. It's like colored. No, not even old-fashioned color photos. This was before them.
It was a Renaissance painting. It was crazy. I remember I used to have a business. I drew like a bunch of drawings and I would sell them to my family members. I had a little book of like, these are the arts. Has it been sold? Yes. How much was it for? I forget how long ago that was. That was maybe like 13 years ago, I'll say. Give a rough estimate.
So I've got a question now for you two. Do you remember the first ever digital program you did a drawing in?
Oh, first ever program we used?
Yes, I think I do actually.
I think it's Photoshop. Yeah.
Trying to remember the name. I know what it was vaguely.
I'm trying to think. Was there?
I remember the first one I ever drew in, and yeah, this will make everybody like, what? Kirita, oh my god, you're a baby. In comparison, wow. Sorry, not trying to be mean there. It's just when I say my first one, because it's the only program available, then yeah.
Okay, so I have mine for what was the first one. I had to remember the name. It was called Explain Everything. And it's basically a whiteboard for teaching. It's supposed to be like for schools. It was on like my school iPad, was what I first used.
Wow. Okay, mine was MS Paint because it's the first program we ever had that had any art stuff in school when I was a teenager. So I did a whole drawing of Mufasa. I went in every single lunch break, zoomed into one pixel by pixel. I did this massive drawing for him lunch break. So I had plenty of practice. So I was just there in MS Paint, zoomed right up to one pixel by pixel, color filling it all in.
Okay, I might have lied. I was thinking too seriously. I think the first drawing program I used was KidPix. If we're encompassing everything that counts as a drawing program, I believe KidPix was the first one. I had to look it up because I know Jazza did a video on it and I couldn't remember the name. I don't know how to share screen. Oh wait, yes I do. I've done it
at the bottom. Yeah.
Sorry, Jazza, poaching some content here. No.
Oh, one of his ones for this video he talked about Adobe. Is that?
No, this is from years ago.
Another one?
Here, what is it? Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's
you,
not...
you haven't added it to the stage. Here you go.
Oh,
now you can do it. Yeah, oh my god! Wow.
It was some. I don't know if this was the exact program. This might be a newer version, but it was something like this. This was the technical first drawing I've ever did. Can we get him on the stream?
Yeah,
he is. Look, he's in the box. He's on the front bit. He's on the stream. Sorted. He's gone up in the world.
Someone screenshot this out of context.
It can easily be debunked because that is no longer his background.
Yeah, I was very much distracted by Heath Ledger Joker and Pikachu in the background.
Yeah. Wow.
Popular still nowadays.
All right. This one was also a cool one that I liked. Question for you all: what are your top 5 Ben 10 aliens? I ad-libbed that one a little bit, but the question still stands.
Okay, I think I got them.
All right. I'm gonna open up a Word document because I'm not gonna remember.
Feedback, Diamond Head, Heat Blast, Upgrade, and Way Big.
Great.
Closely followed by Rip Jaws, Wild Pine, Swamp Fire, and
Dempsey ranks all Ben 10 aliens.
And whichever one that mummy is.
Snarrow. Yeah.
Snarrow. And Vampires in a special section on its own.
For me, it would probably be Diamond Head, Upgrade, Ghost Freak, Swampfire, and Ripjaw. If you know what all those look like, you might notice a theme.
Sorry,
Alright,
I did try
I
to
have-
mute that.
That's good. Oh, okay. All right, I have one. Not sure if the order is exact, but Heat Blast number 1, definitely. Upgrade number 2, definitely. This is where they start going a little. Ghost Freak, Ben Wolf, Accelerate. I love my favorite, my most fond memory of Ben 10 was the Enur story arc in season 3, I believe, where Ghost Freak comes back, and then there's the Frankenstrike, Snarrow, and Ben Wolf aliens. That all of that, the whole Purple Lightning arc, whatever you want to call it, was my favorite. Is my most fond memory of the show, and also you can notice that they're all from Classic.
Yeah, classic.
Like I have some favorites from Alien Force and on, but I didn't really keep up with it after that. I've never seen Omniverse or the reboot. But there you have it. Those are my favorites. Love them. I want to go back and watch it now.
I've seen Omniverse and the reboot. You're not missing much. At least animation style, you're not missing anything at all.
I've seen Ink Tank cover the story arc of Ben 10 from Classic to Omniverse. It seemed like there were some pretty cool story parts in it, but I've never gotten to see it. What we talking? What we want to answer next? Oh, there's Should we jump around closer to the start of the screen? Start of the stream? Because I know we've been I don't know. It's not many ones I know how I would know how to answer. Okay, here's this one. I will extend this to you, the both of you too. But question, do you currently have a favorite character or narrator arc? If so, which one? All right, probably two different answers. 50 and 51 is a very fun dynamic to voice and write. Their stories pedaling along. It's not concrete where it's going to go yet or how it's going to play out. But I do have the main story point that they're going to cover at some point. Favorite narrator arc that I have planned, because admittedly I haven't put many into motion yet, where I want the Fantasy Beast storyline to go is my favorite. I'm excited. It is the one I've actively I've spent the last week planning out how I want it to work, how I want the characters to operate, where I want the story to go. It might be my favorite. I might be so in love with it that I might not put it on the channel, that I might make it into another medium. But I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that to all of you. So I'll probably.
What? You're not putting something on the channel you're passionate about? Dude, you're mad. Straight up, that's it. That's the end of his channel. He doesn't put that out there. That's it. Everybody unsubscribe. Let's make him do it.
I love it so much that it'll never see the light of. Well, okay, that's actually a problem where you want to do it right that you never think you're ready enough to do it. So maybe I will put it on the channel to force me to get working on it.
Get to the point you want it on, and you see the progression of it rather than trying to be a perfectionist. Go, it can't go live till this. It's like I'm breaking every YouTube rule right now. It's not going live till this.
Yeah, but the way I've set up, like I love the world building for the demons, the dark ones, the demon encyclopedia, the king of hell being, or the devil, for lack of a better word, being a title passed down to successors. I love all that world building, but in terms of how I want the story to operate, this Fantasy Beast one is going to be so good. I can't. I need to figure out. I need to figure out the major details so I can start the writing process and making episodes of it. So anyway, what are your favorite arcs?
So far, I would say my favorite arc that I have going is Dino Dude and the Xenomorph arc. because I have a really good plan for where that's going. And as it's been going so far, my favorite episode of all time is the My Singing Monsters and Xenomorphs. Not only is it the funniest episode I've done, it's probably also the most emotional one I've done, with what happened at the end. I won't spoil it for those who haven't seen it yet. But the way the story is going has both a really funny and really sad conclusion. But either way, it's going to be a bunch of chaos and fun and all that.
I heard chaos. I'm into it. Dempsey, what about you? Favorite arc, character, both?
Favorite character for me is Ehrenfold. I just love voicing him. It's the easiest accent. It's the easiest one for me to do. Even though I like Nexum's voice, with his like, "Hey kid," I really like the good old Ehrenfold Bainsworth. Let's slay the wee beastie. The whole thing. I can really get into the. I can do more emotion in his voice when he gets annoyed and stuff by just changing the volume of the voice, not anything else in the accent, and it's amazing to have that freedom when you're doing a character voice. In terms of a character or narrator arc, currently my favorite one, because I've got something that is nowhere near going to be shown yet, but my favorite one that you'll know about is the current arc we're in, which spanned from the last community redraw, The Offspring, and bringing Void into the mix. Because I know if I do this right, it's either going to completely take everybody in one direction and it's not that, or I can take him in that direction and is it, and I can just completely reverse it at any point. I've got so much freedom with this because he can break the fourth wall. I can do what I want. He's like almost like a Deadpool character. Just goes in there and what you think the story is like, yeah, that's what you're looking for, wasn't it? No, we're not doing that today. We're doing this.
Yeah, I gotta go shopping for a fourth wall breaking narrator. I don't got one of those yet.
You get a lot of freedom with them, so that's that. But I agree with you. There are times when we're doing stuff like the arcs or the narrators we really get into, or we're designing something that's coming up in the future, and we're like, well, actually, currently I love this, but what I really love is what you haven't seen yet, because this is going to be awesome, and we're really into it. And it's hard to like. You don't want to do spoilers. You're like,
yeah. I've bought separate books. I have different notebooks now that I want to dedicate to this arc, because I need to tell, like and it's not just a story that I like the world building and whatnot. Like there's a message or there's a theme to it that I relate to, and I just need to figure out a way to get to that point. I need to watch the Pop Cross videos.
Yeah, with my one, I've been reading a lot of mangas lately, and they've inspired me. So it's based upon one of them, but then I've taken like the concept in it, and I've done a plot twist along the lines. And I hope, because it's still in production, I hope I haven't actually done what they're going to be doing. But at the same time, I'm writing this out with my flair to it, and it's going to take a while. But it's like this is going to be a whole new just insanity bit on my channel. It's the one that I was mentioning earlier with the huge number of potentials in the group chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to take a while to plan that out, because I want to map them out properly, at least enough to start a story kind of arc with that. So that'd be quite interesting.
Yeah. But speaking, you mentioned you were doing manga. You were reading a lot of mangas. Where was the question? Matthew Mangrum says, do you guys have a favorite cartoon art style? For example, I like the Invincible art style and the Avengers Assemble art style. My art style doesn't come very close to this, but I really like manga styles. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the art style's in like a middle ground for me. I'm like, it's really detailed and really nice, but at the same time, that's a little off-putting for me. There's other things I like more about JoJo. I've been reading Soul Eater, which I absolutely love, story and art-wise.
Amazing.
Lock and Key is one of those art styles that is like really cool. I don't know if I would want to emulate it. And one that I'm really interested in, I don't know how to even begin working in a style like it, but Nimona, the graphic novel, first off, looks nothing like the animated movie, which I guess makes sense. But it's so, the Nimona styling in the graphic novel is so simplistic, but every character is still so unique, and I would love to be able to somehow get into a style like that. I mentioned this in our group chat that I'm really trying to, not in a way to streamline things, but in order to I guess make things a little quicker, but just to experiment. I want to work more on the less detailed type styles that you see in not so much anime, but more Western animation, where it's very rounded, it's very tube-like, stuff like that. Not sure if I would include it in a story, but yeah, stuff like that.
And almost chibi style, like the real simplistic forms.
If you've seen I'm gonna plug it because I can. It's just, it's just like it's you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. But if you look at the boss level thumbnails, especially within the last 2 months that I've been drawing, it's very clearly different from my style that I do on this channel. It's much more simplistic. It's more cell shaded, and stuff like that. And it's a really fun style to do. It's a much more lighthearted style that fits more or less what boss level is. I don't think my 4 to 6 hour drawings that I do here with construction lines and rendering and special effects would work for those kind of thumbnails. And so I really want to get into other styles and up the detail, tone down the detail. So for different projects, I can have the art style match the tone. Ven says I need to finish Nimona. It's really good. Both the movie and the graphic novel were really, really good read. It has a place in my favorite graphic novels little shelf. I have a shelf of all the graphic novels I've read that I really like. So far, it's filled up with all of Soul Eater, or all of Soul Eater that's available to me at the moment, Lock and Key, and Nimona. I also have My Hero Academia, but that's a little tucked away because there's a lot of them and I haven't finished it yet. But yeah, I really want, I know, Dempsey, you've been experimenting with a different style.
Yeah.
And I want to branch out into different styles in order to fit different kinds of, like I said, different style, different vibes, different moods, different kind of things like that. Next up. Ooh, I like this question. Question, do you think if I made manga, I would be a good artist for the manga? Absolutely, Ark. Your styling is amazing. And I can see different bits of anime in it, in your styling, especially in your background rendering. The first one that comes to mind is that picture of Angelic Demon you did where they're in the sky and they're surrounded by the clouds and stuff. That is a very anime-esque type picture. Of course, I'm saying anime and manga is slightly different, but are there? I have to ask because I don't actually know. Most manga isn't in color, right? It's mostly black and white, and then there's special.
Yeah, mostly it's grayscaled, except for special editions or special cover pages, which will be in color. But you can get color versions of them, but they're more limited edition, or if it's a massive franchise. Yeah. In terms of that.
I know JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has color ones, but the coloring is not up to Araki, the mangaka. It's a different company. So manga would be cool, but Arc, I would also maybe consider Western comics, which usually are in color. especially with how fast you work. You could write a really good comic or graphic novel with the art you have.
I think, Ark, you would suit better a webtoon style, which is anywhere between an anime style and a Western style. And there's a massive combination between just Western to in between and to pure anime style. Because a lot of the mangas I read are actually webtoons. They literally are. They just scroll around for ages on the site of each page bit that people create, and they're basically a webtoon. I think that would suit you better than saying a manga, because a manga's grayscale and you've got quite a good use of color, light, and shading with how you do your style. So I would probably say that. But I think if you did go to make it, as long as it's a story that you're passionate about and you're okay drawing the same type of picture again and again and again, because usually it's close up of the characters in all the stories where you've got it, whether it's in color or not.
We've seen Ark's work. Ark does enjoy
definitely
character. So I think
and consistently.
Yeah. Also another one I just want to bring up real quick. I've been thinking about making a webcomic in forever. I have
You're not the only one.
I've had an idea since 2020 or something. It was a prompt for a school homework. And I'm like, hey, this is a really cool idea. I should do something with it. For the life of me, the story is not, I've got the concept. I don't have the story. So I'm putting it on the back burner for now to focus on the channel story arcs. Maybe I'll do a Vigilance type thing where I make it its own universe on the channel. But once again, I do not have a story for that. I have a concept, and that's it. Like, I don't even have characters planned out for the most part.
I've been thinking of one since back in 2018. However, the original comic thing was probably back in 2018, and I've got 3 chapters of 12 pages each mapped out for a manga style comic with the wordings properly and the proper scripting in. And it all came from a half-an-hour bedtime story from my youngest back then. So it came off that, but I haven't actually progressed it further than that. It got to about that far, and then it was like, oh wait, no, tell a lie, it's catching up. I've got 5. I might have more than 5 chapters. It's catching up. I might have 5 to 8 chapters looking at this. All 12 pages, and I concept mapped out what would be in each scene. So if it's a single page, double spread or something, what the scene would be on it as I'm going through and the story. Yeah, that's never actually come into fruition anywhere for anything. I tried drawing it at one time in Procreate, and I was like, I don't like how it looks, so I'm just not doing it. So I might try with Clip Studio now. It's got all the tools to do it after a while, but that's if I find time to do it. But yeah, I got like 60 pages of it sorted already. That's like one chapter, one proper. I was going on the average of a 16-page comic, because you don't count the front cover and back. It's 12 free spread in between. It's got to be multiples of 4. But yeah, I've probably got about 6 chapters, so probably 1 volume technically, but nothing drawn, no character spec, no nothing. It's just like, yep. But yeah, that was
Ark, I know you've been working on I don't know if you want me to say it. I know you've shared it, but I'll keep it secret. But you've put out a book, which is in a same relative vein. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think every artist has always, or anyone loves drawing, has always wanted to do a comic or a webtoon or something, but it's finding time to do it, because the ones that get churned out every week have about 4 or 5 people working on it and the pages to get them done, even if they're only 10 pages long and a long webtoon, or just one whole scroll down the page for like 10 proper block pages. They're all done in a week and then move on to the next one, and they're normally working a week ahead, so there's normally about 7 or 8 issues already waiting to be released each week, and they're working ahead of it. But yeah, it's insane. I've seen the documentaries on them, just the amount of work going into it from a team of people, and you're like, I gotta do this on my own.
Yeah, it's my biggest thing, which is something I shouldn't worry about at the moment, But if I were to do a comic, my biggest thing would be staying ahead of schedule, because I know it takes much longer than doing any kind of drawing, because it's like 20 drawings on a page. But that would be my first big thing, is keeping consistent. So I'd probably have to work on it for like a long time, get several ahead, because it's going to be just me, or it probably would be just me, and then release it. But then I think of things like Lackadaisy, which doesn't have a never had a consistent release schedule, at least in the more recent chapters, and they have an animated show coming out soon. So I guess consistency isn't always necessary.
Yeah, as someone who has a certain realm of experience when it comes to this topic, like I've published graphic novels in the past and I'm still working on them currently. Yeah, I haven't actually gotten to do that much in a while because stuff has just been piling up, especially with running this channel, and it's been a bit harder to actually get the graphic novels done. It is technically possible, but it is a lot more effort.
Yeah. But I can feel like that kind of effort is worth it. Like,
oh yeah, most definitely.
What you get out is probably a lot more fulfilling, depending on what you do, than like something that's still cool, but like you're not putting as much work into. I guess is that the
like for these videos, you only have to do like 3 or 4 drawings, then you're done, and sometimes those don't even include backgrounds. For a graphic novel or a comic, you have to do basically that, but over and over and over and over and over again.
I keep forgetting about the background part.
Yeah. Honestly, my first graphic novel, I didn't even put backgrounds for like half the panels.
I mean, manga. I'll go back to Soul Eater. Soul Eater, there's a lot of it where it's just like special effect kind of things, like explosions and stuff. It doesn't always have fully rendered backgrounds in every panel. So like it could definitely work.
Yeah, they use a lot of halftone textures and gradients and effects, and then if you do it traditionally, you actually you cut the thing out for the panel, and then you cut out the bit around where you want it afterwards to take the bit out of the bits to stick them on. It's a really delicate process to do it the traditional way. Do it digitally, you can just auto-fill it with your gradient or something and select it and go. But yeah, it's strange how the backgrounds are different between graphic novels, which are more of like a combination of mangas when they're in color, because I've got a Ghost in the Shell graphic novel when it's fully rendered backgrounds throughout all of it pretty much, to your comics that you get that have hardly got any backgrounds depending on the panel. They just bounce in and out.
Right.
Oh, they're putting some.
Also, the thing about panels that they're obviously smaller, so if you cram a bunch of detail into a small space, it's not going to come across as well to your audience.
That's true.
Yeah.
Also, I believe most mangas at least start off one person. Well, like there might be a writer and an artist, but like
Yeah, they initially
smaller
start
team
small.
than what you call them, Western comics. I think I'm not too well versed in the comic universe. I should be, but I'm not.
Yeah, and there's also the other thing to consider is that most front covers on a comic, like a Western comic, like for DC and Marvel, the sketching phase alone and the penciling before it even gets inked by whoever the inker is and then colored is a full day working on it, a full solid 8 to 9 hours plus working on it.
Wow.
Just for the
And
sketching phase with the
people that are
detail.
working on the covers aren't the same people working on the actual novel itself.
Correct.
Typically, they have a different group doing that. And I obviously don't, because I don't have the people, and I, wouldn't do that anyway. Yeah, but
next up, this I find this one funny because we were talking about this in our chat. But Fantasy Creed, I know the questions just keep on coming. But how did you guys form this little artist group? The last time I asked to collab with someone, it didn't work out. It's hard finding collab partners. Well, so how this happened, at least this is my experience. I don't know if it was like pre-planned on anyone else's part. Popcross, which is like our leader.
Being a
Popcross
true leader, he's not here.
Popcross made a community post. He's like, all right, here's the next few video ideas I have coming out, or something along those lines. And another one of our artist friends who unfortunately couldn't be here because of work today, Night of Arcane, made a community post, and they said like, oh, well, Popcross and I are doing the same idea roughly around the same time. Oops. Or I forget the exact wording and stuff like that. And then I chimed in on Knight's post, and I'm like, actually, I think that would be really cool if two artists did videos on the same prompt, and we could see how they were different by some sort of cosmic intervention. Popcross came across that, and he's like, huh. This is me thinking what he was probably thinking. He's like, oh, that would be cool. Let me add them all to a group chat. And so that's how this little group formed. I know Dempsey had worked with Popcross previously in the past, so they were already kind of close. And then this was, I believe this was after Popcross gave you a shout out, Nerd, but you were on his radar. You were on his radar, and he added you to it as well. And we did a Pal World collab afterwards, or a little bit afterwards. And then we've been talking since, bouncing ideas off each other, showing work to each other. And recently, we were talking about like other artists we would like to collab with. And should I say it? I guess I should say it, right?
Yeah, why not? This is your cordial invite.
Yeah. One of the characters, one of the artists that I said I would like to collab with was you, Fantasy Creed, because I love your art style. It's amazing. And you've been submitting, you submitted before to my redraws, which have been like, your art style is so cool. So yeah, if you want to collab, I'm open.
There you have it. You've got a complete invite right there, live on stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my experience was a little bit different because I probably had the first shout out of all of us. Maybe it went back to about 2019, I believe. I don't know if it was the first one, but so I had a shout out and the video blew up, and I was like, the subs kept coming in. I thought, oh my god, have I gone viral? Then I found out, I was following Popcross at the time. It's like, then I found out he's doing a shout out for a video I'd done that Monday, and I was just releasing a video that Friday. So I was like, oh my god. And then he kindly did a mini collab with me when I just said, should I just do a fan fiction of his character, kind of like being in the poll? Should I just get Benny Sharp to meet Nexum, his character to my character that you guys wanted me to make? And it was a yeah, and he said, well, I guess it's going to happen then. He put on the comments, and then he did some scripted lines for me, which I can reuse all the time. So I can just get him to, I can just drop those lines in any of my videos. He said it's perfectly fine to. I haven't in a while. And then it got to about a year later, and he was on a live stream, and I just said, someone asked him if he's going to collab, and I just said, I call dibs. Next thing I know, a couple months later, I wake up to a message, because of the time zones, I wake up to a message saying, I'm doing this collab with Caitlin McGee and another artist, and wondered if you'd like to take part, like a fusion collab thing. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. yeah, go for it. So we did the Godzilla design fusion.
Various ways.
Yeah, we did the Godzilla design fusion almost a year after I had the first shout out, and I'd said to my eldest, imagine if I did a collab with him in the future. A year later on, it actually happened. So it was like a bit surreal. And then afterwards, the next collab thing that was mentioned was with you guys. We did our first collab together, all of us, and did the cross-channel linking in that. And it was like, do you want to do another collab? Do you want to get in? It's like, yeah, I'll get in on this. Invited to a group. It's like, hi everybody. And that's just how it started.
yeah, my story was somewhat similar. So I got the shout out during one of his community redraws, and I was like, okay, this is it. A bunch of subscribers are coming in. This is the peak of my artistic career. And then a few days later, like not even a week later, I get home. I think it was a theater rehearsal. I check my phone. It's an email from Popcross. And it's like, hey, a bunch of artists and I are doing a nerd collab. Do you want in? And I waited a few days before responding because I didn't even know if it was real. Like, I thought this was going to be some kind of carry situation, but...
Yeah, you do have to be careful about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then got put into the group. Didn't really felt like I belonged there at first because you two I had heard of beforehand, and obviously Popcross I had heard of, so didn't really feel like I belonged in there at first, but apparently good enough to get in, so here we are.
You belong here as much as the rest of us. You
Absolutely.
put in the hard work, the dedication. The fact that you're able to do, you've done the novel alongside the videos is just, you have me beat for workload. Your determination is insane. And I respect you for that.
I've got to agree. I mean, hats off. I've always thought of like doing comics or graphic novels, and I've gone to start it, and I've got books on how to do comics, like actual physical books, so that I can just open them. All the tips in that, and I still haven't even done one of them, and I've had plenty of time to do it in the past before picking up the channel. And you've done a graphic novel, you've been in the collabs, you jump on the live streams here and there when we do them, and you release your content on a regular basis. It's like definitely got us all beat hands down in terms of the amount of work that you do.
Well, insomnia, extra 8 hours.
That's absolutely unmatched.
Yeah, I mean, I don't sleep much. I can run a 3.5 hours sleep, or I can go 40. I think 44 hours was my last time of going without sleep, and then I just crashed and went to sleep. But I just couldn't do the whole 8 extra hours. No, my body wouldn't take it.
Yeah. Oh wow. Sorry, I have the stream pulled up and I'm just frozen. Actually, I'm either frozen or standing very, very still.
I think you're still, because you're moving on my screen.
Oh, okay.
And going, oh wow, and then you just like start, and you're like, I can see you moving on my stream version.
I get very intense apparently when I'm listening. Hey, Alan Animations, how you doing?
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking about someone we've done a collab with before. Hi, Alan Animations.
I still need to find a way to bring the character you gave me into a storyline, because I had the X-ray, the talking, the smoking James, the smoking hot beaver Sterner. The story I gave him, he was investigating like a kidnapping or a murder, and I got to find a way to throw him into the story because that was a fun character. Dang it, I had the next question. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. From Caden King. Another question. Will the vampire guy from the Inktober series ever return? I forgot his name. Wait, did I give him a name?
I don't even recall this character. It sounds cool, but I don't even recall it because by the time we keep up with our own channel, let alone everyone else's, there's only a few things we retain. So it's like, it sounds really, really cool.
Yeah. So, when I did my first Inktober last year, and I got a few days in, I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then I got the idea to just make it an overarching story, more or less based on the prompts of what that year was. And so I turned it into this whole story about these two guys who run an art studio or something. I forget the exact plot details. But they run an art studio. They get kidnapped by one of the guy's fathers, who's this bigwig evil guy, to go to an island that was claimed to be uninhabited. They run into the locals there. They're told about this ancient amulet or something. And then it was all just a ploy for the father to find it and gain the power for himself. And something about it, I forget. I have the characters pulled up. There was Nick and Toby. I forget who was the vampire one. But I started the series doing a welcome to Inktober, as a way to make it spooky. I said, okay, I'll just run with that. One of the characters talks like Transylvania. And at the end, it's revealed, he has the ability to turn into a bat in the most Deus Ex Machina ever. I didn't ever have its intentions of ever bringing that back, continuing it. Have an idea for another comic now, since that one was only single drawings per day under shorts. But yeah, no, I didn't think of I never thought about bringing it back. Maybe that could be interesting. That was a good. Thank you, Kaden King. That was a good question. I have not thought about my quest for Ink Tour or whatever it was. My naming convention was not great back then. That was so long ago. Yeah, I turned Inktober into a comic book. That was fun. Thank you for reminding me of that, Kaden King. That was cool.
So on that note, are you going to be doing Inktober this year?
I will be honest. Until that question, I totally forgot it was approaching. Am I gonna do it this year? If I did, I probably wouldn't do it as shorts. I'd probably maybe do it as what is there, 31 days in October? Probably like sets of 10. So here are the first 10 days, here are the second 10 days, and here are the final 11 days.
Maybe do a community post of the final, do it maybe each day, the community post, and then do a video of the process at the end of a week or each week or something. Would be the best way to do it. But
I forgot who it was. I was watching a lot of Inktober artists around that time. Somebody did something where they combined, I think it was another art challenge. I'm forgetting the name of it, and I'm forgetting who I saw do this, but they took a couple of days here and there, and they had to draw one big picture, including all the prompts from the first 5 days or the first 3 days, something like that. That was really cool. Maybe I'll do something like that.
I know there's an Arttober where you pick video game characters and comic characters and DC Marvel characters, and you have them in the list for each day. It's mixed up between you could have Wonder Woman one day, you could have Chun-Li the next day, you could have Naruto a different day. It mixes it all up from all these different things, like a list. But artists drop out and say, if you want to draw them along, there you go. But on these days, I will be drawing this character on this day in my style, type thing, which is quite cool. And so there's also so many things going around at the same time. It's how do you do them all?
Yeah, I mean, there was Art Fight. There was Art Fight that passed that I unfortunately didn't get to participate in. I was talking, well, not talking, but I commented on, I always mispronounce the name, Verity. It was someone Popcross gave a shout out to. Verity Art. What was your name? They make really cool art, and I can't remember how their name is. Quickly to the subscriptions.
Subscribers Assemble.
Vilder Art.
Yes,
VILDRART.
that. Don't they do their original villain characters and stuff?
Yeah, that was
up there. And they often animate it with the VTuber thing as they're talking as well in the video. It's they produce it out, and I'm like, oh my god, how do they do that in such a short time? At the same time, I'm like, these look so cool.
Yeah, but they were doing Art Fight, and I commented on something about it. So maybe next year, because I by now it definitely has to be over. But there was that. There was I know Caitlin did Smaugist. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But it was the same Inktober thing, but with dragons. Didn't participate in that. That one would have been fun though.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that with something. Do the rolling D20s or something, even if it's something we do as a collab where we create our own creature or something. It's from the same prompt, but you roll this to get your bits to come for the stuff that we all do.
I got dice. For the one time I played D&D.
Yeah, I got a little figure that I haven't painted of like a
really?
a sorceress mage thing that I was going to paint to make it, but I only done one game of D&D, so it's like
Yeah.
need to get back into that.
I got my little jelly guy, but I want a figurine of the Jelly Man. I want a figurine or a plushie of the Jelly Man now. I gotta learn how to sew.
Huh?
Oh.
I missed something here. I've seen a comment, and all of a sudden I just got like, oh my god, I need to learn how to sew. I'm like, wait, what have I missed?
Because there was he was on the emotion chart. It was my D&D character. I didn't.
Oh
know,
yes,
I had no idea what I was doing.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love a plushie of that. I want a plushie of Duck Scare. I'm sure I'm gonna want plushies if I ever make this webcomic.
I want an Aaron Fold plushie.
What, nerd?
I said just all of the plushies. Just all
Yes. Oh my gosh. Why are cool things so hard to make?
You know what we should do? We should take one of our narrators each, and we have a deadline in the future. And we should all save up and go to our local Build-A-Bear workshop and make the bear based on the narrator. And we can trial out our own unique one, like to see how people like a Build-A-Bear narrator, and then we can know if the plushies will work.
I call 51. All I have to do is spray paint it black.
with a few little lightly stitched bits in it that you don't have to spray paint it to dry, so you can actually just do like the outlines for some things.
How do you do the outline on a 3D? That would be the hardest part, is understanding how the outline works.
There are videos where these guys print off like the parts, like for Vegeta, Dragon Ball characters.
Oh yeah.
And they paint them a certain way, and they look like it's actually a 3D version of the 2D characters you're going around it.
Yeah.
I know it's a 3D model, but they don't go realistically. They go, it's the page and it's moving as you're looking around the page type thing, instead of it actually being a 3-dimensional version of the character. So that's probably how. But yeah,
that is not a bad idea. I don't know if I'd be able to film that in public. I have not. I've done like one vlog-esque thing in my time, and I got no, there's anxiety to whipping out a phone in public and going, "Hey guys, look at me, I'm important."
Yeah, even if you're the only one on the street doing it. When I went to go to the Google headquarters in London, I was like, nah. Just walked up and I filmed going in there. And you're not allowed to film. It's like everybody else is doing it.
I did that. I think I did that for when I was Posco markering my jacket back on my old channel. I went to like Lowe's or the craft store, and I'm filming like this, looking down. I'm like, yeah, this is really cool. I've got my things here. You can see them. Because I don't want to be like, hey, what's up? It feels weird.
Yeah. So I think what we should do is all go to it, make our ones, come back, and then do a call revealing them.
Yeah, that would be fun.
This is a challenge. Make the cringiest video possible. Go.
Yeah.
All right. This could be an interesting one.
If it's the one I've just looked at, then
yeah.
I've got one.
Yeah, I'll pull out your soapbox quick, Dempsey.
What's your opinion on AI art? There's only one right answer. It's not art. Done.
Yeah, easy.
Simple. Use it for a learning tool, a case study. Claim it as art. We'll send you to the Phantom Zone. That's it. I don't care what you say. AI art is the biggest abomination, and every artist agrees. So there is only one right answer. If you don't have the time to put the effort in on pen and paper or whatever medium it is, and just type a few words, you're not an artist. It's not art. It's a fabricated pile of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Just abomination. Destroy it.
Yeah.
We win.
Plus, that's not even going
got it correct.
Stealing stuff from other artists. Thing.
Yeah. There's all that too.
I mean, for ideas, like if you're trying to fuse two characters and you want to use AR to say fuse this character and this character to see what comes up, and then use that as a basis for something you draw yourself and not trace, you draw yourself with it as a reference, that's fine. It's a learning tool, it's a helping tool. It'll put in poses you might not think about, it'll open your horizons.
Yeah.
But when
I
they
do
do
have
it,
a
and they,
thing. I have a thing about asking for help, so I wouldn't even do that.
yeah,
Fair.
but it's when you see all these things saying, what if the Avengers were, I don't know, were cats, and then you've got all these amazing art things in 10 seconds of a cat in an Avengers outfit that looks like it's been digitally painted by an artist for hours, and it's like, it's not. And then you look at it closely, and it's like, well, that shouldn't be there. That's not actually part of what it would look like.
What
And
if
it's just like-
Avengers were cats? That's what we do here.
I know,
That's
I mean-
our whole thing.
Except we don't add extra limbs and fingers. So,
Unless it's necessary.
unless it's necessary.
What if Avengers were cats as SCPs? There we go. We can add the extras now. Although I do find, just quickly, doing more than one change of something in a topic, without it being like a progressional video, like where Popcross did a kaiju. Oh, was it? He took Godzilla venomized, then he turned it into a mech, then he turned it into like a Gundam or something. You know, he took it, to a transformer at the end after the mech, after being venomized. That works, but when you try and do something like Pokemon as SCPs venomized, no, it doesn't work when you merge the two together. People don't like that. They don't like
Not really.
more than. It's a bit too complex, I think, to actually go down in the story than it is to be like, oh, it's this SCP, but it's venomized. It just seems. At least that's the feeling I get from it.
Right.
Bear in mind, that's a series on my channel, so you know. Yeah.
Next question, coming from Ark. Are you guys going to do a 4-collab drawing Pokemon? I'm assuming
we
you're-
did.
Yeah, well, we did, yes. I assume you mean, are we going to do another one like it? We're trying to plan one. Lo and behold, the worst thing is always time zones.
Yeah.
And just making
Sorry,
sure,
guys.
and making sure everybody is available on a certain day. We all work different times. We all work different days. Some of us live in the future. Some of us live in the past.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2:30 in the morning on the Sunday, the 22nd of September for me. So you guys are all in the past. I don't know how I'm communicating with you, but enjoy my company.
Do
So
you
then
need
see
to,
what are the
do you
lottery
need to
numbers?
go? That's very late.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
I'll go to sleep about 3 or 4 o'clock, and
Okay.
potentially, and then I'll get up between 7:30 and 8:30.
All right. Well, at least it's a weekend.
I got a 4-hour drive tomorrow though, so that'll be fun.
No, I'm
In
sorry.
the afternoon, so it's fine.
Stop talking. You're making Kingpin feel more and more guilty with every word you say. Look
Kingpin.
at the guilt written on this man's face.
Thing, I'll make you feel better. If it wasn't for the fact that Lethal Company hasn't started, I'd have left about 30 minutes ago to play it. But I play it until about 4 a.m. So it's no difference to me right now at all from what I was planning to do.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm working on a bit here.
I'm working on a bit. Oh, here we go. 9 p.m. for animations. 3 a.m.
All right.
for art.
Our next question: will Dempsey ever play Lethal Company with boss level?
If we can get it working, yeah, because I use crossover on a Mac to play it, so I can play it. But if you've got mods, I might have to see if I can tweak it a bit. But yeah, I'm open to playing it.
Right.
We'll have to figure out when and the time zone, but we can do it.
Yeah. Nerd, offers open to you too. You want to be on boss level?
If you want me to, sure. I've been working on my unfilled intro.
Awesome.
Question is, do you want me or do you want one of the narrators to play it? Because we could do it where you go around Lethal, my face isn't on camera, and I could talk about good old Ehrenfold. Now where's the monster slay with a shovel? And then I get killed, and it's like, haha, Ehrenfold got slain. It's like, the damn beastie got me this time.
We'll work that out.
It's just an idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't make that decision. There's 4 of us.
Yeah.
I only speak for 25% of boss level. Maybe.
I mean, that is
Maybe
until
even
your final
slightly less.
takeover.
Maybe even slightly less now. He's got his own channel.
What'd you say, nerd?
I said that is until your violent takeover.
I am the main editor. I can do whatever.
And you're already bringing in allies. You took complete control at this point of the editing.
Yeah.
It's mine. All right. What else we got? We did the Pokemon collab.
Also, Ark, I agree. Damn you,
Yeah.
time zone. Damn you.
A lot of these are possible, like, are video suggestions. So I don't know if I can answer all of them, because most of them are going to be most likely, because I like a lot of the ideas, but I don't have anything for like, a lot of them are, will you do something related to this or that? If people want to see it, I would. I just don't have any ideas off the top of my head of what I can do with them. Another question, are you guys going to do 4-way drawing with art friends again? Yep, we've answered that one.
Yeah.
Which character arc is your favorite by far? I feel like we answered that one, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
mixed with the favorite narrator stuff. So that
Right,
was
okay. There's still some Nikolai questions that we haven't answered. Here's this one, which is from Nikolai. Question number 3: have you ever thought about doing video polls where you vote on what the next video is, but it can be only a once a month thing, like the voice actor fusions? I don't know about being once a month, because I can only realistically do 4 videos a month with the once a month schedule, which is why I'm a little I'm trying to spread out the voice actor fusion a little more, so it's not literally one in every 4 videos, even though they're fun. But yeah, voting on topics. We actually had one, the kaiju. No, scratch that. The kaiju as predators video was a suggestion that was voted upon that people wanted to see. We voted on that during a live stream. But yeah, we can definitely do more videos like that, especially doing the community poll rather than just the live stream chat, because I know not everyone joins the live streams. So in order to get a more fair thing, I could start putting out community polls. I'll admit I'm not great at those. But we've also had a lot of community interaction in videos. Obviously, we have the redraws. We had the drawing characters based on your description. We've had the 16 or soon to be 16 part emotion chart, which was 90% chosen by the community. So yeah, I'm always down to do community involved videos, because I think they're a lot of fun and they brought in creativity to things I might not have thought of before. But yeah, if you all want more voting-esque options for videos, we can make that work. Because I know, Dempsey, you too, nerd, have both done stuff like that. You've put out, for lack of a better word, feelers, and see what type of video people wanted.
Yeah. I wouldn't do them too often, just because of the fact that it will only capture a portion of the audience, and you still need to do more stuff for potential new audience members and topics you want to do. I would say though, your options in it, if you're going to put a poll out, you can do some that are suggested by the subscribers from time to time, but sometimes just put a load of ideas you want to do in the future that you might have planned. Just get a feel of what type of stories they might want if you want to try something new. Because I've been surprised in some of mine. I put like Pokemon Venomized down, thinking, yeah, everybody loves Pokemon, and it's had 0 on it whatsoever. And it's been like, design this as a dragon or mecha. I'm like, but nobody's watching these videos, but you want me to make them. What's going on?
Yeah.
You know, they're not doing as well as the other ones, and it's like, wait, but what's happening? So it's
Yeah, I know the kaiju as predators didn't do particularly well, even though a lot of people, or at least it could be biased because it was on the live stream, so it was a smaller pool of people. But I came back 100%, and even when it came out, didn't do particularly great. Obviously, I think summer is a dead space for YouTube for some reason. Like views only just started picking up. To what they were before May, June rolled around. So that might affect it. I don't know. But yeah, you know, I still like giving the audience what they want, because without them, I'm nothing. Next, another one from Fantasy Creed. On average, how long does each drawing take each of you? Do you have set limits on how long you'll spend on a pick?
okay.
Go ahead.
Can I go first, please?
Yeah.
If it's not a transformer or a mech, it can take anywhere between, I would say, on average, 3 to 7 hours, depending on the style of the drawing. If it's a mech or a robot, it could potentially take longer by far, especially transformers, because there's so many intricate parts, even if you're drawing them or you're putting some into it. It depends how simply you want to do it as well. But on average, if you count this isn't counting reference gathering time or idea time to it. This is just drawing. The sketch could probably take anywhere between, well, unless you're Nerd breaks this rule. There's an exception to every rule. Nerd breaks this rule. So Nerds is going to be a completely different answer to mine.
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah. So I do a sketch at the start of mine, and that usually takes up to anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour and a half. I then do inking, which is the line art, and that can take up to an hour to an hour and a half, in which you think, oh, okay, well, he's just tracing the sketch. And it's like, no, I've learned to take your time and actually improve your sketch with your line art.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got flats and rendering, which can take anywhere between 2 hours with my current style, maybe longer.
Wait,
depending on the rendering. Yeah,
to
flatting and then light and shadow on top of it.
Right. Okay.
And then you got post-processing, which I'm learning, which is all the fancy little extras, which can take anywhere between half an hour to an hour. So my Ashana the God Slayer recently did over 2 live streams. It was about 7 hours almost. It was 6.5 to 7 hours. And the ones for the Hell of a Boss fusions, they're averaging anywhere between, I think 3.5 was the last one because it was very glowy, so I didn't have to do a lot of shadows. But the other 2 were on average about 4 hours just to do them from start to finish. And getting references was probably about an hour beforehand.
Yeah.
So it does take a while, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Mine used to be in a 3 to 4 hour range. It's since gotten a little longer since then. Average is about 4.5 to 6, I would say now. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm doing more detailed or if I'm just struggling a little more, or putting more. I don't want to say effort because that sounds bad, but putting more time into it. I don't know if it's a being more diligent or struggling more that's making the increase take longer. The longest I've done, and this is purely because I struggled a little bit to get the post correct, but also because I was being more experimental. The longest piece I did was around 9 hours. If I can just, I should have had this pulled up while you were talking, but where is it?
I'll just chip in while you're doing that. My longest has been worked over 3 days. I was working on that time, but I did the equivalent of 3 full work days on one artwork, and it's on the channel. That digitally, I took ages doing any part of it. I was learning a style at the same time as doing it. But yeah, wow. 3 days, 3 working days. So you're talking 24 hours over 3 days working on it, roughly the equivalent. But it was worth it. It looked cool. And then I completely changed my style after that, so it's fine.
Okay, so this one This is the one that took 9 hours to. Wait, there you are. This is the one that took 9 hours to draw, solely because I could not figure out the legs in the construction phase for the life of me. Obviously, this thing over here is super detailed, and this is one of the first artworks where I experimented with almost complete cell shading, in the style too similar to how you used to do it, Dempsey, and also how Popcross did it. This one took the longest. Admittedly, not my favorite. These braids really make me go ugh. But also, as you can see, there's 6 arms I had to render, which definitely took longer. Which is insane because before that, my longest one was, can I do this or no? Yes, I can. My longest one was, I don't even know if it's in this year. Wow. I hope you're all enjoying the flashback of Kingpin. This one. Why are you blurry? Stop being blurry. I made you in high quality. Stop it. Stop it. You're making me look bad. What the heck? Why is everything surrounding it in high quality?
It's where it's taking time to buffer it, I expect, when you're zooming in.
Maybe. I don't know. But the fact that my second longest one is a one with a fully rendered background, and that was overshot by just a character, really throws me for a loop. But yeah. I think, I don't know. I feel like because we were talking about this at some point. I forget if it was on the live stream or in the chat, but like we were talking about how long it takes each of us to draw. And I'm like, yeah, mine have been going a little long. And then Nerd and Knight are just like, oh yeah, I'm around an hour or 2 hours. And now we have Fantasy Creed on the other end of the spectrum, who says they're spending 18 hours on a drawing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's so weird how like different, like the speed at which people work, the way people work. It's crazy.
It's the process as well.
Yeah.
For example, Kingpin, on Discord I sent you a few images to show my art speed thing.
Gotcha. Let me see if I can.
If you want to up those, you don't have to, obviously, but
Yeah, I just need a minute to gather them.
Oh, Fancy Creed also says it was a commission. That makes a big difference as well. When it's a commission, you take a lot more time on it because it's a paid service for someone. So you will want to do as best as you could do on it at that point. And I've had one or two before doing traditional drawings as a commission. And yeah, you do spend a lot longer working on it if it's commission. And if you go wrong, you will erase it. You'll spend 6 hours getting one line looking right if it's a key crucial part of a focal point or the composition. You may even draw it, render it. They say they love it, and that you look at it and go, I don't like it. Do you mind if I try something else? And you might just scrap it and start again. It's one of those. It's one of those case by case things for what you're working on.
Yeah. And then Nerd, I have your pictures.
Yep. Okay, so my drawing speed varies based on what I'm trying to draw at the moment. Generally, I have 2 drawing modes. Depends on.
Which one would you like me to show first?
The just one.
Gotcha.
Okay. So this one was one I drew recently. The 2 drawings shown here are the ones that I was actually able to sit down and draw it all in one go. This one took me about 15 minutes to get that. And this is fairly simple humanoid.
Did you say 15 minutes?
Oh yeah, 15 minutes.
Wait, which one took 15 minutes? I'm trying to find one to show, but
the Beetlejuice one.
What?
Yeah. That one, it's fairly simple.
Right, I quit, bye.
I'm done.
So that one took me 15 minutes. Yeah, it's humanoid, simple, no background. If you go to the other one, Hin, which actually I haven't shown on my channel yet. So if you're watching here, you're getting a quick sneak peek. This one took me around an hour. That one took me an hour. So it depends on what I'm trying to draw. If it has the background and more complicated shapes like dragon, that tends to take me about an hour. Or more humanoid, no background, 15 minutes to 30 minutes at most.
Okay, I want to do a comparison now.
Why is everyone screaming?
Because you just broken the world speed record for drawing compared to
Somehow
us.
I doubt that, but
Yeah. And
Just-
because I remember when we were both doing the Make Originals video, in the time I took, like, I don't know, it was the 2 hours I took to do construction work or even the line art. I forget how fast I did. You did a multiple subject drawing in like that.
Yeah, just
Like I said before, your dedication and determination is insane,
yeah,
and I
you're
have
like a machine.
mad respect for you.
thank you.
But Dempsey, you also sent me one
Yeah,
here.
if you can take that one and then the backer blitz one from above,
Yes.
the one with the explosion. I just got to mention like how long it took me and how long ago it was, but I've never drawn anything that as detailed as what Nerd's done in 15 minutes. Never, even when I've tried to.
And then, okay, so there's this one, and then there's, which way is it? It's here. Okay.
Cool. So that one on screen now, the backer blitz, that took about 4 to 5 hours to do on a live stream this year, recently, in actual fact, in the last couple of weeks, which is the new style that I'm doing, which I'm quite proud of. But if you go back to the original one, the other one, that took 3 days to do.
Yeah,
This was the rendered one. If you want to zoom in, that was done back in January in 4 years ago. So 2020, January the 16th is when I posted the video for that, and that was 2 months. What's it? 3 months after I'd drawn the anime version. But yeah,
I thought you said it was 24 years ago.
no, it was back in 20. It was 4 years ago, back in 2020.
Back in 2020.
But that took me 3 days to do, and I obviously I went with values and then built it up and that, and then dropped backgrounds on that. However, it was like that was 3 months after I'd done a really basic cell shade rendering. Oh my god, I said it first time. Of the character, and then that was me pushing it, and that was the best I could do then. But that pales in comparison to the one that's 4 hours now, and that took 3 days. And that style now would probably take me 2.5 hours. It's just insane. But Nerd, how can you do that other one in 15 minutes?
To be fair, that one's like I didn't put much effort into the background, and it was a fairly simple design, but
Ben, thanks for that. I already said I'm the oldest in the group, but no need to just I mean, did you not get that when I said that my first art program I drew on was Microsoft Paint when I was a teenager? Kind of give it away.
yeah. To be fair, it's not like you're exactly trying to keep it subtle.
I'm not dyeing my hair now. I can't. Look, see? Yeah.
I am not ageist.
No, Ben is ageist, it sounds like.
All I said was the way Dempsey cut off his sentence, it sounded like he was saying he drew it 24 years ago.
To be honest, I did say 20, and then I went, what are we now? 24? And then he got the 24 bit. So I drew it fucking. Yeah. No, I can see how you got it, but still.
I'm trying to see if there's any other questions that we can answer. There's this one from Ark Kingpin. Would you ever not be scared of duck scare? I'm getting better. the last live stream had less jump scares to them. I'm kind of
He's not
expecting
setting the timer.
I have. You can still hear it. You can hear it in the mic. You can hear the duck.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. No, duck scare will eventually get old. Nerd, are you okay?
I'm fine currently.
Okay.
Fine as ever.
Duck scare will become not become a thing of the past, but the actual jump scare portion of it I will be okay. You know, probably at the same amount of time we'll take to finish this emotions chart.
I think we should just lock you in a room with a million duck scares going off for a week. I mean,
Yeah, we're just gonna
2
be
hours will
maxing
probably
therapy.
2 hours. 2 hours would probably fix you, and you'll be used to it. You'll be like, whatever now. But you'd also be a shivering wreck when you come out. So giving you a week rehab in between.
And throw you in a room filled with a bunch of ducks, make you binge watch all of DuckTales.
You know what?
See you
I've
there
been
for a
meaning
week.
to watch DuckTales. That sounds fun.
Oh, you have to. Oh my god, it's amazing. Then again, I kind of like grew up around DuckTales as well.
Right.
One of the original programs, like not the newer one, the original DuckTales.
Yes, the original.
Disney did the remake.
Also, Fantasy Creed, go ahead. If you want to show a work in progress, we can do that. I don't think we're going to be doing a full artist showcase. We're already 2 hours over how long I thought we'd be going. And I think the sun is rising on Dempsey soon. So we might have
Pitch
to
black out there for now.
we might have to wrap this up a little soon.
If we wait 7 more minutes, we can technically make this a 3 a.m. challenge for Dempsey.
I'm not even tired right now.
No, I'm wide awake. I might be working on some stuff after this. I don't know yet.
What? There was a question I was going to pinch out.
Yeah, I'm
Where
trying
is
to
it?
whittle them down so we can see some of them. Because I'm also very iffy about promising things, because things can get hectic, and I don't want to go against my word. But I will let you know, I have all the idea as I show it in the last stream. All these ideas have been submitted by you. So I am paying attention. I'm keeping track of everything.
Yeah, so Kingpin's keeping track of everything. So am I. These are video suggestions for my channel, right?
Okay.
And they're not all of them, right? You ready?
Yeah, they're organized. That's great. Whatever.
No, but
Oh,
look,
jeez.
it just keeps going on. It just keeps going. I tell everybody, I capture your suggestions and I put them down in the list. When I get to them, I never promise, but I tell you, I capture them all.
There's just not enough time to do all of them. That's the problem.
This is without the ones that are in the potential narrowed down to be done this month, let alone the video suggestions I've got from the form submissions that have been coming in. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But that's just like the basic suggestions. Like,
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And
think we need
they're
to get
all
you-
really good ideas too.
oh yeah, I think we need to get you set up with a form and Notion.
Yeah, I was looking at your form during your last stream. There's not as much to it as I thought, so it should be relatively easy to create.
Yeah, if anybody's got any issues, they just have to log into Google to submit the form. That's all
Yeah.
it is. You don't need to get their details. It's all anonymous. I like it to make it anonymous so that it's not down to anybody whose idea it is. Some people you can tell that it's their idea, but when it comes through to the overall data at the end, you can then know if it's the same form submission by everybody multiple times, unless you limit it, or if it's just a case of lots of people want it. If that makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah. I love how I showed a sketchbook full of sticky notes on top of sticky notes, and Fantasy Creed's like, yeah, y'all are so much more organized than me.
I also have notebooks when I'm out and about, and I can't be bothered to do it. So I even keep them in these as well.
Oh wow, yeah, that is not organized. Once you start keeping things in multiple places, all organization goes out the window.
Usually, the really good ones that I come up with in there already, I put them in Notion when I'm out and about. But
Right.
that's
Yeah,
if I'm having an electronic break and I'm out and about.
I got the Notes app and stuff. I should get more physical or traditional with things. I gotta detox at certain points. But this is what Fantasy Creed has been working on, and you've already covered one of my favorite color palettes, which is white and green, or
Ooh,
the
yes.
white and the neon green. This
Nice.
one of my favorite color combinations. It's that black and red, neon pink and neon blue are up there. That kind of, I don't know if there's a certain name for that kind of style, but that dual lighting is good. Yeah, no, I love these colors so much. And once again, the detail. Creed, your art style is amazing. Also, unlike me, you've drawn the character multiple times, which is something I really need to work on, and which I really like about your videos. The Bible Man ones are the first ones that come to mind, but you have the different, you have like the side profile and the main drawing, which is really cool. I want to get better at that. So if you have any tips, please let me know on how I get better at drawing the same character over and over. I know me and Nerd was talking about it a few days ago.
Lots of different angles.
Yeah.
Make a character. The best way to do it is to make a character sheet, like you would submit it for a video game. Front,
okay.
side, back, head going around, weapons and equipment,
Yeah.
all at different angles, and just build it. Just do a character reference sheet that you can reuse or drop as a reference for your stuff in the future. I don't do that myself. I should probably do that myself. I plan to with some bigger projects that I've got in my head, so I might not do it. But that'd be the best way to get used to doing that, and then you can do different angles of motion of how they look using their weapon or moving or doing stuff, and that's how you just come up with them.
Yeah, I was about to say, this character design is really good. I know it's really good because I look at it, I immediately want to know what's the story behind it.
Yeah,
Mm.
definitely. Nah, but this is awesome. And can we focus on like the clothing folds and like the hood and everything, and then the bunching up over here? Like it's so, you have such a good understanding of everything, Creed. It's insane. Also, I love your styling of feet. Those are really nice too. Feet are a hard one.
I like the detail in the spine on the top picture going down. That's very difficult to do because it looks like it flows with the body.
Yeah, it's really cool. And there's like the lines that show like indents and stuff like that. Like I don't know if stretching is the right word, but it's interacting with the skin.
Yeah. No, it looks that's a cool character design.
Yeah, amazing job as always. Keep up the great work. Are there any other main questions we want to tackle? Because I definitely noticed they've been their input has been slowing down a bit. There's this one from Arc. What do you think I should work on? I believe they mean in terms of improving. So basically, I don't really have an answer perfectly. My answer is you will know what you need work on in your own style. So for me, I know hands. I know I need work on hands, angling, perspective, to an extent differentiating between facial features of different characters. I don't want to fall into same face syndrome. Perspective, I wouldn't say I need to work on. That is something I would like to work on and understand better. I haven't had much experience in it for it to be a necessity to work on, but I would like to do stuff like that. So you will always know, at least in my thing, you will understand which parts that you need to work on. So I would say gather a bunch of your artworks, lay them out side by side, look at them, and be like, which one? Find something in each one that are just like, all of this is good. I wish I did this part better. Like, oh, I wish I did the feed better on that one, or the perspective better on that one. Find out which one is the most common out of all the greatest common factor out of all of them, and start working on that, and then make a list of the other ones that you can tackle later down the line. I would not recommend trying to improve on everything at once. Find one specific section that you really want to do, but also feel like you could do better. Focus on that, and then you can tack on other things once you get more and more comfortable with each thing.
I would say the only thing that I think on some of yours you have to do, and these are minor things you need to tweak. Minor, I mean, you do an amazing job on your perspective, your anatomy, and that. It's just a slight tweak to the proportions in perspective of the anatomy sometimes, because you get the really cool effective field and angle, and it's just a case of it might just be fractionally, and it's hard to notice, just fractionally too small on a section, if that makes sense. And it's very difficult to do to get the perspective and anatomy. But I'd say if you nail anatomy a bit more and perspective, just go the basic foundations, it doesn't hurt. I do that myself with references on hands, and I still can't draw hands to save my life. And I've been drawing them in a lot of pictures. But I'd say pick those two to focus on to start with, and once you nail perspective and anatomy completely in your head, like 3-point perspective and stuff, and the body, just different poses and dynamic poses in a perspective field, you'll just nail it completely. But as I say, you nail perspectives, I can't even figure it out or get my head around anyway, and it's minor.
Perspectives are rough.
Yeah, and it's literally minor tweak. It's something that I only noticed on one of your artworks, I think, as a minor thing, and I haven't seen it since. So that's the only thing I can comment on, really. Other than that, what Kingpin said, we all know what mistakes we made in our art and what we want to work on. Just push towards those. Just do it one thing at a time. So if you want to get your anatomy corrected, do that first. If you want to work on your lighting to get more of an atmospheric effect, work on that. If you want to work on your dynamic poses to make them more like they're coming out of the page, is what I'm doing more, is working on like the dynamic poses on the live streams and stuff. Work on that, and then just build that up bit by bit by bit. I think Nerd's stuff almost died again.
Yeah. I think that's all right. I think we're going to start wrapping up anyway. There's just one more question, I think. Just to reiterate, yeah, iPad died again. That's all right, Nerd. If you want to come back in before we end, you can. I think we're going to be wrapping it up. Apparently, the sage advice was too much for it to handle. I think there's like two more questions we can probably answer. This one, we answered this probably before King King got into the stream, but
possibly.
Which of your characters is?
Oh, we haven't answered this one.
We have not answered this one. From the beginning, I've always liked John McCracken. I thought he had a cool design, a really cool design, and what was it? Oh, and the voice you do for him is really cool. And I also, based on just because I have a obsession / connection / connotation with Bendy and the Ink Machine and how it relates to drawing and animation. I forget the name, but your ink-based character, he has the yellow shirt, is also I really love that concept too. So those are my top two favorites.
I'm useless at names, but I remember a design. I can't remember if it's the same character, but you had a design in purple that we commented on at the end of one Kingpin streams that I really liked. But you also had a design that had like a watch device on them. I don't know if they had the ability to time travel or something on your characters. They had a really cool watch design, and I liked both of them, and they stick out in my head. I'm just useless with names if I haven't been put with them again and again and again. So I apologize for that. But those two are my favorite designs of your characters so far.
Yeah, definitely. Then ask permission to draw something really cool in honor of hitting 2K subs. Go for it. I answered you in the chat, but also yes, go for it. I love the fact that people are not only asking me for prompts of what to draw a la Arc, but also are drawing fan art is something really weird that I haven't been able to really wrap my head around.
Yeah, I still haven't done that with the little emoji things I had in OBS that time from Ven.
Yeah.
It's like, and that's only like 3 of the characters, and it's like, yeah, I just like, what?
Yeah. Steven, did we miss your question? You were the one about the favorite.
Actually, there's a question about involving Gundam or stuff or a mecha in a mecha IP in the next few months or so. Like, if you're gonna add more mecha type things into your videos. But I think we were not trying to not answer anything that might sound like we're promising something.
Right.
Because there's a few questions similar to that.
Yeah. I do know you're much more familiar with Gundam than I am. But I would look in because it seems interesting. So I wouldn't be opposed to looking into it. I just don't know how soon a video would be because that Transformer one that took a long time to draw.
Although I am looking at potentially, if it's a long thing to draw, reducing the amount of artwork in a video.
Yeah.
So if it's like a Gundam and we're going to do it in detail, maybe do 1 artwork or 2 and just have that in the video with design notes rather than a fully fleshed out story, just so it's something we can. You need to spend your time on something that's as detailed as that.
Yeah.
And all those straight lines to draw. My poor hand.
Yeah. Fantasy Creed, I feel that too. I'm so honored when people draw my little persona as a banana and things. Yeah. It's so cool. I kind of wish, I don't know if I would do it. Like, I'm pretty comfortable on camera and I really couldn't imagine doing it another way, but like I would love to have like an avatar like a PNG avatar version of me, like Fantasy Nerd Knight has, because those are really creative. And that would be, I might have to create an OC of myself for myself. Maybe not so much to overlay on the videos, but like, I don't know, just to draw something cool.
Yeah, I'm looking and trying to get a cool version of me for a profile picture instead of the photo, but just because it'll be more vibrant when it shows up on the videos. But I, like any artist, I'm useless at drawing myself.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing that for the emotion chart. Nerds back.
Welcome back. Also, apparently, me and you desperately need a sonar.
Where was that? Wait, where was that?
Ven's put in a comment. Dempsey and King desperately need a sonar.
Nah, I need a soda. I don't drink soda.
I need a new Sony Panasonic TV, 55,000 inch on my wall. How nice of you to volunteer, Ben.
Apple flavored. All right. We are having more questions coming in. I think we should.
This is perfect. I got this. I got a prop too.
For
this one
question.
Yeah.
Okay. What's some food y'all enjoying right now?
I like noodles and stuff. I'm a big pasta noodle eater, and I've been eating these soba pots, and this one's Japanese curry flavor.
Ooh, that sounds good.
So the teriyaki, the Japanese the Japanese curry, and the original flavors I've tried and I'm loving them. So I've just bought every single flavor by the chili one. Basically, stop me coming up, and they take about 3 minutes to make. But I'm loving them at the moment. It's just nice and easy, but just they taste really nice, especially the Japanese curry. Definitely.
I've got my
Yeah,
wisdom teeth removed recently, so I've been enjoying copious amounts of tomato soup.
Yeah, I'm a college student currently, so it's pretty much just ramen. Nothing but ramen.
Instant noodles. Let's go. The great thing though is if anything breaks in the dorm or anything, if you're in a dorm, I've seen all those clips where they repair sinks and stuff with the instant noodles and just jam them in there and then paint over them and it just stays there. So, you know, you're sorted. You've got your repair supply and your food supply in one.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
You also have a fire starting supply if you are incompetent in using a microwave.
Had that before.
Like, it may not be.
Well, not me personally, but I know. I don't even know people. Somebody lit a candle in my building, and the entire dorm had to evacuate. So that's fun.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't fun. Especially when your PC is in the dorm and you're not there and no one's allowed in, and you're like, well, am I going to lose my life's work? So yeah, it was the fire was on the opposite side of the building, but that was not fun to witness. Yeah.
I've seen a clip where a lady's oven or some sorry, I've seen it on TikTok. The building was on fire. She came out and she started recording it all for a TikTok live. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, it was literally just below her flat. She's going, yeah, my building's on fire, and then she just turns around and goes, see, and it's just getting in the way of everybody, including the firefighters. It's like,
Of course.
why?
I would tell her to film inside the building so she could get a better shot.
Wow.
I wish so, because she's one of the worst TikTokers in the country. She's so annoying. She's literally done, but she's one of the worst ones in the UK. So yeah, yeah. No, we're still live. We're still answering questions. We're going for it. I beat Nerd's challenge of staying up till 3 a.m.
Yeah, we were supposed to go for an hour. It's been 3.
And we still got more questions.
Yeah, we got questions coming in. I don't want to keep either of you past. Like, if either of you need to go. Also, Knight, if you want to join, I don't know how much longer we'll be running. I'm just having a lot of fun doing this. But yeah, there's some other ones.
Creed says, that's just how streams go.
Yeah, that's true. I was supposed to work on boss level stuff today. Oops-a-doodles.
That's I was supposed to work on loads of stuff today. It went out the window, so matter.
Yeah,
it happens. Life gets in the way.
All right, here's one. Frederick Studios, what do you like more? Fantasy magic, cyberpunk future, or superhero world?
Oh, I'm gonna have to answer this. For me, as much as I love all of them, magic wins anytime if I have to do it. Mm-hmm. It's just my Yu-Gi-Oh deck spellcaster, my D&D character spellcaster, my default go-to wizard or spellcaster. So yeah. Hey!
Yeah.
Knight's here.
Yeah, the thing about a fantasy magic world is that you have a lot of variety when it comes to different examples. With the other two, it's kind of just the same thing every time.
Yeah. All right, this is perfect. There's 3 of you. I can leave the stage and go use the bathroom. I'll be back.
Okay.
So, what are we going to talk about, and what should we say about him that we can hide from chat later?
Now, what Kingpin gossip will we discuss today?
Okay. So the next rumor about Kingpin Creations is go.
We'll just take the first thing to go in the comments. Comments start saying ridiculous rumors about King's creations. Let's go.
I'm trying to figure out how to change the what's it called?
Oh, the picture.
Yeah, and just I don't know, trying to do like what Nerd apparently did. Don't know.
Oh, that's a very good question, Dragons of the Bum. I will flag that. I'm not disappearing completely, but I'm going to shoot off the camera a second, and I'll be right back.
Did not mean to click on that one, but that works. Kingpin Creations is definitely Mark Zuckerberg's ostracized son, and also a weird duck.
Definitely
Both.
the weird
Those
duck.
two are definitely the weird duck. The weird duck's just confirmed at this point. He was a weird-duck, but he was also secretly raised by geese. We're getting a lot of Kingpin lore. We're getting a lot of Kingpin lore today. So, and maybe
Maybe
the
not.
only one. Ignite Slayer. Okay.
Nope.
So how's your day going? I have to pretend to lead a conversation.
I'm not sure anyone's answer to that, but I'm going to say yes.
Nope. Nope.
I don't. I'm just 100% awake still.
See, what no one notices is that MPJ Illustrations is actually a vampire. This is normal for him.
Yeah, unfortunately though, I've got a bit of a cold going, so I've got, or at least my body's faking a cold. But yeah, I'm potentially a vampire. If I see the sunlight, I'm just going to go into thin air. Kingpin's back.
What did I miss?
We have a question. Were you raised by geese?
Better question. Are you a wereduck? Because legally, you have to tell us if you're a wereduck.
What's happening? What did I walk in on?
I don't know, but the fact that
Yeah,
you've got this
didn't walk in.
confused, dazed look on your face, full screen right now on the stream, is a perfect clip moment. You're just there like, what's going on?
I need my friends back. No, I don't believe I was raised by geese. No, I'm not a wereduck that I know of. I could, you know, black out if I transform. But no, I think I'm a. Oh, everyone's gone.
I'm still here.
Okay, cool.
I'm still here.
I'm still here, don't worry.
I just still don't know how to change my thing from just this OBS symbol.
Mm,
I'm failing miserably.
yeah, I don't. Are you? Because you're set up as a. I don't know. I don't know if you're set up as a virtual camera or a actual camera.
Feel like I might partially be that.
Yeah. Because I know I had to set up a virtual camera when we were doing the 4-person stream, but I don't know how it would be for the PNG. But yeah, how you been, Knight?
I'm done with work for the day, so
That's good.
I was ready for work to be done like 30 minutes into the shift, so
That's usually how it goes.
even more
Wait.
so than usual. So
You
Yeah.
made it to 30 minutes into your shift and not like 3 seconds before. No, 30 minutes before you got to your shift?
I mean, we could say also a little bit, but even before that, yeah. Not a fun drive. Let's have fun on this stream, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We should probably also answer this question from Dragons Are the Bomb. What's y'all's favorite kind of character to draw? What are you most comfortable drawing?
Fusions. Without a doubt, I love drawing fusions. I don't know if they'd be the most comfortable to draw, but they're definitely, especially the voice actor ones. They're the ones I go into. I'm like, they might not always be home runs, but they're always fun to do.
Fusions are quite fun to draw. The kind of character, my favorite kind of character to draw. I am enjoying Fusion at the moment as a change of pace, but I do like drawing stuff like the characters that have got a bit more of a design, like a mythological take on it, or a set take, like adventure, like Erenfold or Void and stuff that I've drawn. Those characters, because I find creating those intricate parts and stuff of like the humanoid characters combined with something else is quite cool, but not exactly a fusion. More like it's a humanoid race, or so it could be a beastkin, like they're humanoids, but they've got cat ears and tail and claws type thing. So they're more like almost like were creatures. The best way to describe them. What I'm most comfortable at drawing, even though they don't always turn out right all the time, dragons. Just I find them easy to draw.
Fair.
But they don't always turn out right from drawing them, even with reference. But since I start them, I kind of find dragons quite easy to do. Until I confuse something random with them, and then I cry. But usually I'm quite comfortable with the base form of a dragon.
Yeah. I'm getting slightly more comfortable with each dragon video, depending on what angle I'm drawing them at. But yeah.
Favorite
Yeah,
kind?
like I said, dragons. Oh, you can go first, right?
I mean, I still don't know what I was going to say, so if you're ready, go for it.
Favorite kind?
I'm pretty
Nothing.
comfortable drawing those things, but dragons and monsters are the two biggest currently that I've been doing lately.
Nice.
Like, favorite is... I hate that I'm failing so hard at this.
It's a hard question.
I don't know, like, I guess in a way that does go for both favorite and most comfortable. Is kind of, I don't know how exactly this happened over time, but drawing more like female, feminine characters. I don't know how that happened. Well, I was going to say I don't know how that happened. Then remembered a lot of the either a lot of the shows, or at least some of the shows I watch, have a lot of female leads, or I just was drawn more to the female designs. So there's that. And like, though I guess also like thinking about it, because where one of my favorite characters is still in like a lot of media is Roman Torchwick from Ruby. I do kind of like drawing in like some of those like kind of like suave criminal like characters, be it they're good or bad or neutral.
Right.
I haven't done that much, but I think recently though, but rip. but also I do. Yeah, I think I feel like drawing females, and I also guess drawing some like monster like characters, because that's like always like fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like super complex, like I've had like ideas that are, I don't know where they're ever going to be used or done, involving like monsters, stuff with zombies, stuff with Frankensteinian monsters, and other stuff, and like those are fun because like, especially like if you're trying to do it like kind of like a monster prom where it's like a modern day sort of thing, like trying to figure out like the style, what they would do, how the world would work.
Right.
So it's just really cool. And we're getting into spooky season, so I should definitely try to do some either on like just free time for shorts or occasionally some streams. Besides also the fusion stream.
Yeah, I was gonna mention, like, I haven't drawn them, but something I really want to work with. I don't know in what capacity I do it, but something related to like the monster prom or just designing characters based off of monsters in general. Because I've spent like the whole weekend today, Saturday, the whole week playing Monster Prom with friends. Oops, maybe Boss Level is making a video soon. Who knows?
Nice.
But like, there's just so many designs and so many characters in that game, and they're all so cool. And I want to maybe I want to have something like that where it's like this colorful cast of characters, but like there's something about that game that's funny. It's hilarious as hell. But like it just like stimulates the artistic brain, like part of my brain, to be like, I need to draw something like this.
Oh, I can see that. Because in a way, same. Very much same. Yeah. That is at least three different monster related ideas have crossed my mind. So, and I'm probably going to mix and match them together into one.
Yeah.
But it's 100% because of Monster Prom. 100% because of... I don't remember if I want to say it was just randomly being recommended Jesse Cox's playthrough of it when it first came out with Dodger, Octopimp, and someone that shall not be named. But like that definitely helped. And then also like Short One Gaming doing it. That's a fun one to watch. I would highly suggest watching it. It has a really funny ending for their first
who was it again?
Time. Short One Gaming. I'll post it in the comment.
That works too.
Short One.
I'm gonna guess one is spelt out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I put the one number for some reason. Aw, that's a cute penguin.
Penguins.
Oh,
yeah. I forgot that's their icon.
I immediately saw Slay Princess too, as a series.
I want to play that. I have it. I want to play it. I don't know if that's a game I should do on stream though. That's hey, since you've done it on Boss Level, would that be a smart idea?
Well, the finale of that one, it has probably one of our fastest growing videos. So, it's just a lot of the whole thing's voice acted. So there's a lot of time where you might not be saying things. That's the only thing.
Gotcha. But I'm also more so worried about if there's anything like, if I actually showed it on screen and didn't do like any blurred out, I could get in trouble. Because I don't really know anything about the game.
I mean, like Markiplier, like depending on which routes you take, there's some of it that's like there's a little gore and stuff, but like it's not super detailed.
Gotcha.
I think in terms of YouTube, you should be fine.
Worst case scenario, you could always do turn the saturation up.
Yeah. Maybe if you have something in like OBS that you could turn, like a sensor bar in OBS where you just turn it on and off.
I can figure something out.
Yeah.
Or just have quickly have transition. But also Were Duck Monster Prom style.
Yeah. If anybody wants to draw me as a Monster Prom style Were Duck, whatever that is, go ahead.
I mean, that sounds like a fusion of you and a duck.
Yeah, I guess.
As a were person.
All right, so this, I mean, the video's out, so it's not like it's a secret or anything, then said, hate to break it to you, you have to make a Monster Prom OC. It technically was an OC, but it wasn't of me. If anyone has watched the boss level Monster Prom video, you'll know we got Dahlia's secret ending, which involves the heralds of it's not loading, which involves the heralds of each season. And it's a really long part of the game, but they never designed any characters for the heralds for some reason. And so, where is it? And so what me and Lou, who is the other artist on boss level, we took it upon ourselves to design the characters. And for the love of all things, where is the damn character? There we go. And this was, nope, that's a Google thing. Nope, that's a virtual camera. Nope, that's a video file. I hit every button except the right one. This is my first Monster Prom OC. This is the Herald of Summer. It's kind of a duck.
I'm more questioning why there's multiple pairs of glasses.
It felt very akin to the Monster Prom humor to have multiple pairs of sunglasses.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I swear I saw there was some sort of cartoon where they had like sunglasses on, and then they pulled off the sunglasses to reveal more sunglasses, and I just don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, but I know what you're talking about.
There's a meme skit for that as well, where the guy is supposed to be looking at another woman and is missing next to him, and she takes off, like, pulls the mask down, and he's got glasses, takes it off, another pair. Then she does that. She takes a helmet off, and he's facing the other way down the escalator, not even looking. It makes it look like he's forwards when he's facing downwards. And it's like he played that smooth. It's like, but why all the glasses?
Why not?
That's really well done.
Apparently, I get cursed with the were-rabbit.
I was gonna say you'd probably be like a bat or something, right?
Like, there's definitely that. Though if we base it also off my laugh, it would be a hyena.
I mean, your PNG could very well fit into the Monster Prom universe.
Yeah. I think I would need to just like look a little more at the style to get it a little more right.
Yeah. I really want to emulate that style. It's a really cool style.
Yeah.
Final question. All right, this one's a little fun. Final question from Steven. For your next Q&A live stream, would you somehow invite Popcross? I kind of did to this one, and unfortunately, I don't think he was available. Right before the stream, Popcross commented on the community post I put out, being like, "Hey, we hit 2,000." He said that's well deserved. He said, "I'll just read it. Woo! Congratulations, Kingpin. You've earned it." And so I said, "Hey, we're streaming if you want to join." That was 3 hours ago. I don't think he's available.
He's practicing his forward flip, reverse spin, back flip, or whichever way, back flip, forward spin, whichever weird tumbly thing he's doing. He's probably doing that right about now.
Yeah,
Tumbly,
I would like to get
timey-wimey thing.
Yeah, I would really like to get Popcross on another stream, but he's very busy, especially now that he's publishing books now. However, he was on a previous live stream earlier this year when we did the 1 year anniversary of Kingpin Creations. He popped on for an hour and answered some questions, which was really nice of him. And yeah, I would love to get him again, but he's a hard fish to catch.
I'm sorry, you're just like your expression, like with the after saying that phrase.
I have no idea what I just said.
You need to go to bed, Kingpin.
I probably won't.
I like that. You need to go to bed, Kingpin, and I'm the one here at 3 in the morning going, yeah, let's keep going.
Oh boy, 3 a.m.
Oh, going from 4 a.m. That's right. Woo!
Who else? Do we have any other questions?
Let's see. There's Ben talking about a GTA parody about penguins.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. I have not seen this, but now I want to, and I also want to. What is it called? I want to play it. Then, do you have a name for said game?
Maybe it's a boss level game.
I was about to say.
Is that not just penguins in Madagascar?
Yeah.
Just looking at it, it's like a parody where you play these really cute penguins committing crimes. I've seen that somewhere before.
It sounds familiar, but I can't place a name to it.
Same. I still find it kind of interesting that both mine and Popcross's birthdays are in like the same week.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I found that out when it was in the video where he did the shout out to you. It was like that was like the same week as my birthday. I was like, huh, interesting. We're like a few years off, but still.
Right. All right, a quick Google search has given me the name Penguin Heist, which is
Heist.
Nope, it's not a game. Oh, oh wait, I think this is it. It's called The Greatest Penguin Heist of All Time. That's the name of the game. And also Ben found it. It's called Penguin Heist.
Based on the penguins of Madagascar.
It might be.
Probably.
Wait.
Oh, that was a good movie though.
Yeah, and then their little TV series skits afterwards. That was quite a good season.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I have watched a lot of that. That was a fun series.
Also, before I forget, then Penguin Heist will be going on the boss level list of game suggestions.
Page 52 of the notebook with the pink sticky notes.
Yeah, this boss level game suggestion is quite stacked.
Okay,
Long, low whistle.
Anybody who's seen Bruce Almighty when and all the memes where he opens up the filing cabinet and it keeps going?
Yeah.
That's the suggestion list. Find it in there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, my list of games is almost 2 pages long for boss level. And we've barely covered any of them.
Wow.
Ben, you're not meant to admit it. You get in less trouble that way.
Yeah. Built-in deniability.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah. We can't showcase that.
Deny.
It's okay, Ben. Send the money to these accounts, put us on screen, and we'll crop this section out of the stream.
I do want to showcase this. Caden King and the chat seems to be realizing it's time to go to bed too. So we might be wrapping up soon. But Caden King said the anniversary of their Tales of the Multiverse is this Monday, which is awesome. I remember Caden King was one of the very first audience members or subscribers. I forget because it was around sometime in October, I believe. But yeah, they were there from like almost the very beginning, and they've stuck around this long, which is awesome. And you know, the fact that they are at a year anniversary too is amazing. Caden King, if you're still there, keep it up. You're doing a great job. And it's been, I'm glad you've been part of this journey, as much as I've been a part of yours. It's really cool.
They're the reason why I found your channel before, Popcraft did the shout out, because they had their short that talked about like me, you, DMZ, and Popcross.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, another person like us? Let's check it out.
Yeah, and
Assuming you weren't also in the comments, and I might have forgotten. Which is it's been a long year, so it's
Yeah, no,
Give or
definitely.
take, it's possible.
Yeah. But no, I think that was like the first time somebody did something like and be like, hey, I like this person's work. Go check them out. And I'm like, I did what now? I inspired somebody? That can't be right. What is that? Why? What did I do?
What?
I don't know. It's just
This
weird.
feels-
Like we were talking about this earlier, but it's weird to like understand, like to come across the fact that you are perceived by people and there are people who look at you and be like, I want to do what they're doing. And that doesn't register up here. It's really weird.
It's amazing, but yeah, it's weird. It's almost
Yeah.
kind of weird to think about.
Oh yeah, I'm super grateful for it. Doesn't mean I can fathom it. And somehow have almost 600 videos on the Tales of the Multiverse. That's crazy. That's so many videos.
That is.
So once again, props to you. Anyone who has hard work and dedication, I respect.
Respect.
Yeah.
Fair.
But as the chat begins dying down, I believe this will wrap it up for the stream. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to you three for sticking around this long.
I mean, it's only almost 8 in my time zone, so
I want to be where you are. That sounds. I want more night ahead of me. I got things to do. I need more
mean,
time.
I mean, if it's like the same, if it's the same, if you are up and about for like the same hours, it's about the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah. But thank you all so much. Thank you, Dempsey, for lending me the StreamYard to use. I'm sure this made it a lot easier to keep track of everything. So thank you for that. I might look into getting this myself because it's useful.
Well, on the plus side, you're all admin, so just set up a thing on here at the moment if you want to use
That's
it, and
true,
then
yeah.
just put your own little branded sections and in the things if you guys want to use it, and you're free to just schedule your streams and jump on. I'm sure we can all be on a separate stream at the same time. So yeah, feel free to use it as and when you need to.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Nikolai's just arrived.
I'm so sorry. We are wrapping up the stream now. I do appreciate you hopping in, though. We did answer some of your questions at the beginning and toward the middle. I don't know if you'll be able to find them, but we did start off with, I believe, 2 of your questions. If you at least want to go back to the start of the stream once the VOD's up. I forget which ones they were, but we made sure to answer some of your questions. I think we got to at least one of everybody who asked.
We answered question 1, 2, and 3, I think, looking at this.
Yeah. I was going to scroll all the way back up, but there's way too much.
It was
Yeah.
Gravity Falls and Benny Sharp were the 2 questions
Yes.
that we answered.
And
Yeah.
then there was one more, but I'm forgetting what the question was.
I hate how you could technically do Benny Sharp ARP with the Baby Shark. Benny Sharp.
All right. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Right, clip that, send it to Popcross.
Figure out how to animate that.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Night, guys.
Later.